career of one of the all-time greats is all but over.
Nice comeback.
Uma oportunidade de dizer alguma coisa que eu acho que nunca disse.
Let's get this party started.
NFL Game Pass is now exclusively on DAZN.
Let's get this thing going.
Watch every game, plus the playoffs and Super Bowl.
To the end zone. What a play.
It's your all-access pass.
That's how you fight a southpaw. Well on his way to coming back.
Katie does it again. Look at the emotion.
Boxing on DAZN, sponsored by William Hill.
We got two suspects, Lowry and Burnett.
We are being framed.
You set the damn van on fire.
Relax. The fire's on the outside. Now it's on the inside.
What the hell are you doing?
I fight crime, mate.
Y'all are some terrible fugitives.
Bad Boys Ride or Die.
Call 911.
Aren't you the police?
Exclusively in cinemas.
Hello, darlings. Aunt Helga. Futuristic scooters, old school website. Relax. Web upgrades, I own them. Better design, e-commerce, and smart AI. Now you're fit for the future. I scoot off now. Your digital partner, Ionos.
She's got that McDonald's double points feeling. Yep, him too. And then get double points on the improved Big Mac, quarter pounder, and double cheeseburger. Unlock an app today.
Boxing on DAZN, sponsored by William Hill.
People, Fight Week has officially commenced. Yesterday was Grand Arrivals. That was fun. Today, we have the media workout, which means we have 3 more sleeps until the big one. Until that man, the current unified heavyweight champion of the world, bids to become undisputed heavyweight champion when he takes on the lineal champ, Tyson Fury. Media public workout starts now.
A tale as old as time. A legendary champion in search of another champion has found his match. Both men undefeated. Both men larger than life itself. Facing each other under the watchful eye of history. Until there can be only one.
Let's get ready to rumble at Riyadh.
It is time to fight.
Boulevard City, Riyadh, looking magnificent at night. It is day 2 of what is going to be an incredible fight week. Day 2 means media workout, which also means we're just 3 sleeps away from the big one. Undisputed heavyweight title fight. It is Tyson Fury versus Oleksandr Usyk. We're going to see fighters throw hands in the rings for the first time this week. And we're here. We are here, the A-team. Here we go, go. All right, I'm not a professional boxer. I gave it a go, all right? I gave it a go. Barry Jones, Darren Barker. I will say this, though. They won't do that much times because it is boiling here. Now, we moved the media workouts to 9 o'clock in the evening. We moved the whole week to 9 o'clock in the evening. It's hotter tonight than it was in the afternoon. Barry Jones, Darren Barker. But we're excited and happy to be here. Barry.
Oh, of course we are. This is what we've been begging for so many years. And also, it looked like this fight was never going to happen. And now it's here. And this week's, it's been amazing already so far. And yeah, I've said it all week, and I'll continue to say it. The sport needs this contest. It needs this contest. It needs a winner. We need a #1 heavyweight champion in the world. And it'll make our sport so much healthier.
What I will say, Daz, that normally the guys in the ring kind of give you about 10 minutes. I'm telling you now, they'll be out of there in 30 seconds. It's that hot.
Hot. It's very hot, but so is the fight. It doesn't get any hotter than this. This is spectacular. Massive fight. I cannot wait. Give me that first belt.
Give me that first belt. Indeed, Addie Drew is with us as well as part of the team. She'll be trying to get interviews with the fighters after they've done their bits in the ring. But in the ring, as you can see, is your MC, Thomas Triber. Let's get the fighters. Let's get this show going.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the media workouts for Ring of Fire, a great night of World Championship Boxing live this Saturday from Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It is all being brought to you by Frank Warren on behalf of Queensberry Promotions and Bob Arum for Top Rank Incorporated, in conjunction with Riyadh Season, National Events Center, the General Entertainment Authority, GIA, Gold Star Promotions, K2 Promotions, and Sella. This great event will be televised live worldwide on DAZN pay-per-view, in the United States on ESPN Plus pay-per-view, and in the UK on Sky Sports Box Office, TNT Sports Box Office, and DAZN. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to extend a big thank you to the custodian of the 2 holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, and His Excellency, Chairman of the General Entertainment Authority, GIA, Turkey Al-Sheikh. Let's now get things started. Our first 2 fighters today competing this Saturday in a scheduled 8-round international cruiserweight contest. Let's first welcome, fighting out of Frankfurt, Germany. He brings an undefeated record with 12 wins, 10 of his 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is Michael Seitz.
There we go, Michael Seitz came out yesterday during the Grand Arrivals, and he kind of was like, wow, this is incredible. He'll get used to it. And again, look, this is all about opportunities, Riyadh Season, and this is a great opportunity for him to show the world just what he can do in the cruiserweight division.
No, it really is. This is a big break, and I say it all the time, but boxing's littered with underdogs overperforming and the favourite underperforming, and just getting that right mix. And then all of a sudden you grow from top. Once you get a good win, you start believing in yourself, become a better fighter overnight. I think stylistically it's a hard match because he's short, he stays nice and low, he rocks back and forth like Mike Tyson-esque. And he jumps into his attacks, which can either be fantastic for him because he can get in quick, or he walks onto a big shot. I think it's going to be one of those, I think, on Saturday.
Yeah. For me, why I like this fight is because there is no chance he can outbox Nyika. That can't happen. cannot happen. So how do you win the fight? You look at his record, 12 fights, 12 wins, 10 by KO. He has to try and land that knockout power. He has to bring the fight to him, because he will get schooled otherwise, and that's why I like this. And that goes for a few of the fights on the undercard. The opponent needs to bring the action.
I would say, Darren, as well, when you've got a guy who punches long, when you're low, you got a better view of the target. You look up, it's a bigger view of the target, and you can use that jab, like Lomachenko does, but not the same way. Use that jab to be able to move around. If you can stay low underneath the jab and it's long, you can slide inside it. It takes him long to bring it back, and you can do your work. It's a risky move because you're walking onto the uppercut. But if he can master that, he's got a chance.
How difficult, Darren, is it to get used to a fight week like this when you've never had a fight week like this? And what I mean, it isn't just the magnitude of it. He might not have ever done a media workout. You know, he's going to do a big press conference tomorrow. Obviously, the weigh-ins are going to be glamorous and big and pyrotechnics. How easy is that to get used to? How difficult is that?
All depends on the person. He'll be learning a lot about himself, how he can deal with pressure, how he handles the big moment. We spoke about this yesterday, and we've heard it a lot, myself and Barry, I'm sure you have, Ade. There is such a person as a gym fighter, someone who can look really good in the gym when there's no pressure around them. But with an audience, with this kind of build-up, the media, all eyes, the world on you, you can crumble. It can make you or break you. We'll find out, he will find out if he can handle this kind of pressure.
I think sometimes you can enjoy it and then forget you're fighting on Saturday. Do you know what I mean? You're not prepared. Sometimes you get so involved in it and love the attention. This is the big time. This is what I love this to be a regular occurrence, and actually forget that you are preparing for the biggest fight of your life.
Thank you very much, Michael Seitz. And now let's welcome to the ring a native of Hamilton, New Zealand, now making his home in Gatton, Queensland, Australia. He was a 2020 Olympic bronze medalist, and now as a professional is undefeated with 8 wins, 7 of his 8 wins coming by way of knockout. Let's welcome David, the nice guy, Nyika.
That don't kill me, can only make me stronger. I need you to hurry up now, cause I can't wait much longer.
I asked a bit earlier about his opponent. How will he handle the big time, the lights, what this big stage means? I've got a feeling that David Nyika is going to relish it. He's going to love it. He wants the big time. He wants to take those jumps. And for him, it's a case of a big time to showcase exactly what all the hype's about.
Yeah, and, look, and he's putting pressure on himself. Yesterday we heard him say, look, I need to be taking care of business here. I can't be here in the final bell. And that shows the ambition of this young man. Very, very well skilled. Got a lovely jab, keeps it long, as Barry says, beautiful footwork. He's going to be a problem in this division, I've no doubt about it.
And also his balance is so good that he can punch going forward, he can punch going back, and that punching going back is a real plus, especially for a guy with such a long reach and tall, because you get leverage on that long left hook if someone comes into it, or then you can push forward with a lovely right uppercut. So he has good variety, and because he's boxed at a very high level as an amateur, he knows how good he is. So that's why he's saying these things. That's why he's putting pressure on himself, because he knows how good he is. So he would be shocked if he doesn't get to the top. That's his mindset.
But I'll be deadly honest, if I was to pick out anything negative just watching this now, and something I have seen of Nyika in the past, he does come a little tall. If you can see the position of the chin, you just want to get that chin tucked down a little bit. He's got brilliant feet, and that gets him out of trouble. Trust me, he really is a smooth operator, but you're always looking for ways to improve. I'd like to see him just get that chin down slightly, but that is a very small adjustment that he could easily make.
Australia's always produced good fighters. Let's not pretend this kind of surgence, if you like, is a new thing. But what we have seen in recent years, Barry, is sort of Australians going to the big time and staying there. Obviously, Tim Tszyu, yes, he lost recently, but a big fight for him coming up against Virgil Ortiz. Opetaia, we see what he's doing. Sky Nicholson, now a world champion.
The Maloney brothers, of course.
Maloney brothers, exactly. And prospects coming through as well now.
Yeah, well, investment is important. That's, in any sport, investment is important, and success then breeds success, because you see people from your area or the same as you achieve it, and you want to do the same thing, and I think that's important. It's all about investing in the sport, and they've done that. They've had great fighters in the past, some of the fantastic fighters, but they have been sporadic, and now they're sort of getting a group together, and that will inspire the next generation. That's very important. We've seen this. Anthony Josh has done that, of course, and it's very important for that. But this kid might be leading the charge in a couple of years, and let's hope he is.
Yeah, I think it's really good to see, because back in 2013 when I beat Daniel Gill and an Australian, I thought I'd completely derailed their hopes of being a force in boxing, but they're back, they're trying, they've got some really good fighters.
Everyone's going to do, as you guys will see, a different type of open workout. We saw Nyika's opponent just do a bit of shadow boxing. Nyika's actually got the gloves on, he's hitting the pads. Do they plan what they're going to do for 4 or 5 minutes? Is it a case of they walk up and say, okay, let's just play around? Chisora never does anything, does he? He gets people in the ring and plays games. Yeah.
I think for it, they'll just say, they might not plan exactly what routine they're going to do, but they're going to say, we'll do some light stuff. And you see the guys who are not used to it because they tend to go too hard. And they want to show people what they can do. But it's just to show people what, this is what I'm here, what it feels like. People who not used to this, just showing what pads are looking like and how the people shape up.
Thank you very much to David, the nice guy, Nyika. Our next 2 fighters to the ring competing this Saturday night in a scheduled 10-round contest. It will be for the vacant WBA Intercontinental Light Heavyweight Championship. First, we welcome, coming to us from Porto, Portugal. He brings a professional record consisting of 9 wins, just 1 defeat. 4 of his 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Octavio Tank Pudivitr.
Octavio Pudivitr has wasted absolutely no time to get in the ring. He's jumped in straight away. He's like, give me my 3 minutes. Let me show you guys what I can do. And you kind of see the nickname and where it comes from, the Tank. Very short, very stocky, completely different to his opponent. And again, Riyadh season is always about giving guys opportunities that might steal the show, cause an upset. That's what he's here for.
No, yeah, he is, of course. This is a huge moment for him. You see, he's all action, aggressive, he's high-paced as well, so that's going to be a problem for anybody if he can get his feet close, and that's going to be the secret for him. If he can get his feet close and he can work away, he'll have a bit of a chance here.
Yeah, look, he's beatable. There's 9 wins, there's 4 losses, but he brings it. He tries to get on the chest of his opponent. From the fights I've seen in the past, he's not really in any dull fights because of his intent, his desire to put a dent in his opponents. Lapin, though, he's a nightmare. He's an absolute nightmare. He's tall. He has probably the quickest feet I've seen in a fighter. He just jumps out of range. So that's going to be the problem here for him. He's got to try and get close. He's got to, try and find that inner Mike Tyson, the slipping and sliding, really quick on the feet, get close and try and unleash hell. Because if he doesn't, he's going to get picked off for fun.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult, isn't it? As you say, his opponent Lapin's not just got good feet, he's got fast feet as well, isn't he? Really fast, good feet, can fight on the back foot. His reach is incredible, so how does Pudivitr get inside that reach? It's not going to be easy.
You've got to be hard, and you've got to, when you've got someone who's taller, maybe technically better than you, you can't punch single or twos. You've got to punch in bunches. And also, you've got to be brave enough, and it's a risk, to follow their punches back. So when he throws that jab and he brings it back, you chase that punch. There's a risk to walk onto an uppercut or a right hand, but you have to get close. And then when you get sort of in that 3/4 range, that's when you change the angle with the feet. And he has fast feet to do that. So if you can be brave to do that, change the angle really quickly when you follow that punch in, and then you burst into combination.
You can see he's trying to do it. Is that what you're saying?
Well, you can hear me. But it's a big ask because if that jab starts whacking you in the face all the time, then you start jumping in from too far out, and then your feet are off the floor, and you have no basis then to take a shot, and that's when you get in trouble. And Lapin, I don't think he's the biggest puncher, but if he just starts turning his body into his shots, I do think he'd be more dynamic.
You know, I love this. Look, obviously, we've covered all of the fights in Riyadh season so far, and the cards are stacked, and they're stacked with superstar names. And look, we as boxing fans want to see the superstar names, but I think it's important that kids like this are given an opportunity.
Yeah, this is building a platform for the next stars, for sure. And there's plenty of them. Trust me, there really is. There's lots of stars that really want to make a name for themselves. I mean, there's two in the heavyweight division, two that we'll talk about later, Frank Sanchez and Ajit Caballero. Both still only 31. They'll be looking at the big guys in this division thinking, hold on, we need new stars.
To Octavio Tank Pudivitr. Now let's welcome his opponent this Saturday night, a native of Poland, now fighting out of Kyiv, Ukraine. Undefeated with 9 wins, 3 of his 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Let's welcome Daniel Lapin.
There's quite a few good prospects on this card. This is one of them, Daniel Lapin. Again, we'll see what he can do in terms of adding a bit of size to that frame, but what he lacks in muscle, as you can see from what he's doing here, he makes up for it in footwork.
Yeah, he does. And you said it there, it's razor sharp, it's so quick. With Barry, I don't think he's a bigger puncher, but can he get full leverage in his shots as his career starts to progress? Because he's very accurate, and that will help him find the stoppages. You've got to remember, this is a business. This is the entertainment business, the fight business. People want to see brutal knockouts. So if he can start trying to find that aggression, that inner, I've said it on the last time, that inner Tyson, that inner nasty streak, he can be a real problem. I mean, he's going to be very hard to beat, but if he can find that bit of spite, that power, then he's, you know, not far from the total package.
Sorry, Gareth, I rushed you a bit there. I was pointing, but this is Lomachenko, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was doing that in '94 with a 10.
Do you have any video evidence?
Well, I wasn't very good. There's no videos back then. But I think, though, see, everyone thinks the punchers are the ones with all the muscle, the stocky guys. The ones who can really punch, are the tall guys.
Thomas Hearns.
Yeah, but you got to get acceleration in the punch. You got to get speed in the shot. So if you can push up that back leg and use that long reach, and all the powers at the end of the shot, it can be quite dynamic. You haven't quite got it yet.
Just about to say that, because what we haven't seen him do yet, like the names you just mentioned, Tommy Hearns, obviously one of the hardest hitters, is really sit on his shots. Because he's always on his toes, he's always moving. We haven't really seen him plant his feet and really dig. Maybe there's something that he'll add to.
But you got to do when you're a tall fighter. You got to turn that front foot in.
That's better.
You got to turn the front foot in though. So that when you turn that front, you got your toe facing forward. When you turn it, so your left foot forward, you turn it slightly to your right. That gives you a bit more weight to push into the shot off the back leg, and you'll get more power.
I can confirm there is definitely microphones ringside.
They're
all hearing us right now. He looks razor sharp.
That's what I want to see.
Razor sharp.
A bit more spite. Sit down on those shots. A bit of aggression. That's better. Show us that fight night.
Wow.
Thank you very much, Daniel Lapin.
There you go, 4 fighters down. And look, it's so difficult to take anything away from seeing someone do something in the ring for 3 minutes, but I can tell you now, Daniel Lapin could be something special. Just that little barrage of punches he threw in the corner there, I was like, okay, this guy's got something.
I wasn't expecting that, but I'm really glad I see it. I know it's there. If he could do that on fight night, he's a problem.
And also the way he turned really fast. I know I love a pivot. Everyone knows that. I know. I try to stop saying it now because I've overused it, but I mean, that especially with a guy coming at you olay him. So if you can get that quick turn, see, a big turn is a defensive move. A quick turn, that means you can attack very quickly. So there's an attempt with that movement there that he wants to do work. As soon as he makes you miss, he wants to make you pay.
All right, Saturday promises to be something very, very special, but it isn't just Saturday. Stick with us, because DAZN, as you guys know, is the true home of boxing.
Hey champ, I know why you're here. You're a born winner, the top dog. You have a proper punch on you. It only takes one, eh? But I know you're not all about throwing haymakers. You know your bobs from your weaves, and you know DAZN's got over 150 fights every year. Over 150. Proper stat. All the action, the chaos, the comebacks, the non-stop knockouts. Big fights every week. So get those gloves back on. Together, we're boxing royalty. DAZN, undisputed.
Loads more people here in Boulevard City. I almost feel like the word is starting to be spread about something special happening on Saturday. Obviously, they're here for the media public workout. Thomas Schreiber is back in the ring, so let's throw to him. Let's get on with the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next two fighters competing this Saturday in a scheduled 10-round international featherweight contest. First, let's welcome a native of Afghanistan, now making his home in Dubai. He brings a professional record of 16 wins, just 1 defeat, 5 wins, coming by way of knockout. Let's welcome Hasibullah Ahmadi.
Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I
Ahmadi almost comes here as like a mystery opponent. Like most of the guys on this card, they've almost fought someone that we know, so we kind of can gauge where they are. Not Ahmadi, he's coming in and we don't quite know what to expect. That must be quite difficult for Isaac Lowe to gauge. Like, how good is this guy?
Yeah, there's not a great deal on Ahmadi on the internet. It's hard to find many fights of him. But what I have seen is a nice, tidy boxer. He can move, decent defense. But this is a big step up in quality. Isaac Lowe, we know the level he's at, and he's got desires to push on to something bigger. So this is all about, can he rise to the big occasion? Can he find that extra percentage? I've got Isaac Lowe a favourite in this, but there's something about this young man that makes me think that they can build with something.
But he's aggressive without being too gung-ho. So he comes, I said what Darren said, I thought the same thing, a real nice, neat, tidy boxer who likes to come forward, so he likes to be busy. And if he can push Isaac Lowe back or make Isaac Lowe work hard at this stage of his career, then he might cause Lowe's problem. But I'm not sure if he carries the power to really make Lowe panic.
I will say this, and maybe this is my conspiracy theorist hat on. It's 40 degrees. He's got a hoodie on. It's boiling in there. With all the lights as well, I wonder if he might be struggling to get down to the weight.
Or maybe being from Afghanistan, similar sort of temperatures, he's used to this. This is cold fish.
You show me a featherweight who makes it easy, and I'll show you a liar.
Thank you very much, Hasibullah Ahmadi. Let's now welcome from Morecambe, England. His professional record consisting of 24 wins, 2 defeats, 3 draws, 8 wins. Coming by way of knockout, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Isaac Westgate Warrior Lowe.
There you go. I mean, look at the difference. One comes in a hoodie, one comes basically ready to go in his boxer shorts. Isaac Lowe, a character, honestly, will entertain on Saturday. Just the 2 defeats and no shame at all. Nick Ball, Luis Alberto Lopez looking to get back to that level for one more crack, potentially at a world title or something like that.
Yeah, and he's had 3 wins on the bounce since. I've spoken to him just yesterday and he's full of confidence, buzzing to be here. Does feel that there's a world title in him. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Like we say, we've got an unknown quantity of somewhat with Ahmadi. Isaac Lowe, bundles of ambition and desire to really push on. So usually when you have that, you get a really, really good fight.
He got a lovely start and he's a good boxer though. But what he is as well is tough. I was working the Lopez fight and he got hurt really early. But you know what? He grit his teeth. He got hurt in the end, stopped in the end. But I mean, he gritted his teeth and had a really good go in the middle stage of that fight, where he looked like he was going to be out of it. The ball loss was a bad defeat again, of course. But I think you got to get the plan right. He wants to be an aggressive fighter. I don't think he's that. I think he's a more skillful boxer, as we see here. A lovely fast mover, fast hands, fast feet. He just sometimes wants to over-impress. If he can get that balance right, and also the tempo, the flight management at his age, then he can still maybe get back to near where he was.
How much pressure for him to get the job done, Kaz? He comes in here as a big favourite, let's be honest. How much pressure to get the job done on a big card?
I'll be honest, I think it's a must-win. I think he has to win this one. If he's talking about pushing on and potentially having a crack at a world title again, this has to be a win. Perhaps even looking good as well. Maybe more than a win, if he's really to push on and challenge for a title again.
I will say this, again, look, it's always difficult to gauge when you see these little public workouts. It looks very sharp, Baz.
Yeah, he is sharp and relaxing. You know, that's experience as well. Even if he is tight for the weight, he'll know just to do enough here, make himself look sharp. Everyone go, whoa, he looks really on it, really focused. You know, to be fair, man, you know, he's been on some of the biggest cards in the world. You know, thanks, you know, because of that friendship with Tyson Fury, but also he's put on good performances with that.
I think he's another one as well, Ade. I think he's another one. We've mentioned this on the cards before, beneath us. He's one that punches harder than his record suggests. You see him there when he sits down on the shots, when he turns his hips into the shots. He can do damage.
I do believe as well that we are going to hear from Isaac Lowe. I said that Ali Drew is ringside. She's going to get an interview with the Morecambe man. Again, look, it is a big opportunity for him, and it's one that, as Darren said, he has to take. And not only does he have to win, he probably has to look good in doing it as well, to get those big fights, to get back in that mix.
Isaac, come over. How are you enjoying this fight week events?
Yeah, I'm loving it. Look at the place where we're at, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. This is absolutely a dream come true, isn't it? On the biggest stage of all, on the biggest fight of my generation. So, well, yeah, I'm really proud to be a part of it. Thank you for my ex-team to let us on it. To Spencer and Frank Warren for getting me on, and obviously Tyson. But it's time for me to do the business on Saturday night and put myself back in the big league.
Now, it's very, very hot today. What is it like preparing for a fight in these conditions in Saudi Arabia compared to the other ones that you've done before?
What do you mean by England? Pissing down? Obviously it's hard. It's conditions are different, do you know what I mean? It's 38, 40 degrees every day. But yeah, last time everyone was here for the last one. It was around about 22, 23, it was all right. Well, this one, it's like being back in Las Vegas again in the heat in June. So yeah, it's all good, enjoy it, get a bit of a tan. I'll go back when I go back home.
Now, you're in shorts, your opponent came into the ring in a hoodie. Did you get a chance to watch him in the ring, or are you focused on yourself?
I watch him on Saturday night when he's in front of me, man and man. That's the only time I'll be watching him. He can do what he wants from now to the fight. We're only 3 days away, so I can't wait, baby. Time for me to rock and roll.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Isaac Westgate Warrior Lowe.
Isaac Lowe, confident. Again, great opportunity. Mention everyone that's given him the opportunity. Tyson Fury, Frank Warren, obviously His Excellency as well. And he sounds like someone in the ring that I think is going to do absolutely everything to put on a performance. Not just get the W, but as I said, look very good doing it.
Our next two fighters to the ring competing this Saturday in a scheduled 10-round contest. It will be for the vacant WBO Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. Let's first welcome, coming to us from Hamburg, Germany, his professional record, 25 wins, 3 defeats, with 20 of his 25 wins coming by way of knockout, let's welcome Ilia Mezencev.
Ilia Mezencev making his way into the ring. I spoke to Moses about this route that he's taking at the moment, and what I mean by that is we aren't seeing him in against fellow Brits, we're seeing him go the international route, which is not a problem. You see different styles, Barry. And I said, look, why are you doing this? And he said, I can't get any Brits to fight me. I want to fight the Brits. I want to go the traditional English, British, Commonwealth, European, but I just can't get them in the ring.
Yeah, well, what they'll do, they'll price themselves. They'll ask for silly money because he's being touted as the next big star. So you have to go far afield. But this, and with that, as you said, Andy, with that, he gets experience of boxing different styles. And that experience when you get to the highest level is invaluable. In the fella here, his opponent, you got to go, he's a good little boxer actually. A little bit upright, I think, for Itauma, but you got a decent jab. He does everything quite well down in the field, just not maybe to the ability that will trouble Moses Itauma.
Yeah, I mean, what an opportunity for Mezencev. Out of nowhere, he's got a great crack to really turn some heads, really shock the boxing world. 21 knockouts, he can punch.
Thank you very much, Ilia Mezencev. Now let's welcome, from Chatham, Kent, England, he had a stellar amateur career and now is a professional, undefeated with 8 wins, 6 of his 8 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is Mairis Itauma.
Mezencev obviously asked someone, how long do I need to be in the ring for? Like, what's my contracted time? 90 seconds. Okay, I'll give you 90. That was it.
We might not get that on Saturday night. Possibly. No disrespect, of course.
No, of course not. You're just being honest, because he's in the ring against that guy in the ring now, who is touted as one of the best prospects, not just in British boxing, but in world boxing.
He moves so well, you think he's smaller than he is. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
He almost shrinks when you watch him, because he has the ability to move around the target like a weight or 2 divisions below. So he's as talented. Dallas is fan. He's pretty much the chairman of his fan club, of course, and rightly so. He might be the one who's going to lead the charge, of the new generation of heavyweights.
19 years old. It's the intelligence that he boxes with that is so impressive.
One sec, is he done as well? Yeah, he's had enough as well. He's like, I'm had enough as well.
What a fighter. What a talent.
Moses, that was short and sweet. Is it just too hot to do a workout?
I was sweating already. I only throw about 2 punches.
It is very hot now. We're 3 days out from fight night. Has your mind switched to fight mode yet?
No, not really. I'm finding it hard, to be honest, but don't worry, I'm going to put on a show Saturday night.
Do you feel any pressure? It's so early on in your career. Obviously, you're a heavyweight on this card. Do you feel pressure with that going into Saturday?
Yeah, but I kind of like it. I kind of like the pressure. It keeps me on my toes.
What's the plan for the next few days? Do you chill? Do you build up every day? What happens?
We eat.
You're always chilled. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mairis Itauma. Our next 2 fighters to the ring competing this Saturday in a scheduled 12-round contest. It will be for the vacant WBC Silver Lightweight Championship. Let's first welcome a native of Nigeria, now fighting out of Accra, Ghana. His professional record, 23 wins, just 1 defeat. 16 of his 23 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the current WBO Africa Super Featherweight Champion. Let's welcome Joshua, the Wealth Machine, Wahab.
were hard getting into the ring right now. Obviously, big ask for him, but look, very, very excited for him as well. Normally fights in small hall shows in Nigeria. What an opportunity for him to fight in the kingdom. Won't be easy as he's fighting His Excellency's favourite fighter. Look who has joined us. Ben Davison has joined us. Ben, we've been waxing lyrical all week about Moses Itauma. Look, you've worked and trained alongside some young fighters. You've seen young fighters up close and personal. Is he almost the most talented young fighter you've ever worked with?
I think he's one of the most unique. I think very rarely do you come across a heavyweight whose skill level would match across the board at any weight, and he is one of those guys. So we are more than excited to be working with such a talent.
Ben, we've heard this record, the Mike Tyson record. Obviously, you have a plan along with Frank Warren, his promoter. What do you make of all of that? Would you like him to really push on and try and get a title before he's 20?
For me, I'll always say the same thing, talking about how quickly a prospect should move. I think you have to take it step by step. For example, I'm not saying this has happened, but if he doesn't go past 4 rounds in 15 fights, knocking everybody out, he hasn't really experienced that much.
No.
So, first and foremost, getting him rounds of sparring is very, very difficult. That is the first thing we need to do, to get him used to doing the rounds, 10 rounds, 12 rounds, how quickly he can adjust to that, and then how many rounds he can get on a night will determine how quickly we can move.
Do you believe he could win a world title in a year?
Within how long?
Within a year.
I've only trained him for 4 or 5 weeks, so it's hard for me to say, but from how quickly he has progressed already, I'm extremely happy with. Sometimes he plays it down, but he's extremely passionate about the sport of boxing, so he's a very fast learner, and I'm really excited.
Have you let him spar AJ yet?
I haven't.
Okay. Can you invite me down when that happens?
You know what it is? They're all big guys. We've got lawyers in the gym as well, and they're capable of hurting each other, just being realistic. And you have to be sensible. You don't want... I like to create a team environment.
You don't want egos to get in the way there.
I like to create a team environment, and they're cheering each other on, talking to each other. AJ sharing some fantastic advice with him, and I love to see it.
Ben, what does he like to train? When you get a precocious talent, it's sometimes not always the easiest to train with listening and work ethic. But what is he like?
Yeah, I think he got to a point where I think he struggled to see not where he could improve, but where there was big areas for him to improve. And I think the way that we look at it is slightly different. I think once he saw that, he was like, oh, actually, there's loads for me to carry on learning here. And I feel like it's reignited the fire in him and enjoying boxing again.
Final one, Ben. Obviously, his opponent, Mezencev, a lot more experience. Maybe not on the level naturally as good as Itauma. What are you expecting from his opponent? What problems do you think he can cause?
Yeah, look, like you said, he's very experienced. I think that, as all the fighters are, they're on the biggest stage of their career, and I think that he'll be coming to have a go. You know, he's got that experience, and maybe that'll play into Enrico's hands in being on a big stage and looking to come and have a go.
You don't believe it, you're smiling, you're thinking this ends early. He didn't believe anything he just said there.
Can I ask one more question?
Yeah.
How are your elbows, all these heavyweights?
Difficult. More than anything, it's the body belt. Keep taking it with the body belt. Ridiculous. But, yeah, I'm going to have to find someone else, another body to chuck in there.
Barry, use Barry.
Use Barry. Ben, cheers, my man. Get out of sight.
Thank you.
Or the heat anyway, should I say. When I asked him that question about, Mezencev, what are you thinking? He didn't believe anything he said there. He's thinking this goes around maybe 2.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He's got a special talent.
Thank you, Mark Thunder Chamberlain.
Mark Chamberlain there, who was in there. Again, I've continually said this so many times, His Excellency's favourite fighter, another opportunity for him. And look, he wants a world title strap. It might happen. He's got the popularity, he's got the fan base, he's got the backing of the kingdom as well, so who knows, it could happen. Anyway, let's get the show back on the road. Your MC, Mr. Thomas Triber.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next 2 fighters competing this Saturday in a scheduled 10-round international cruiserweight contest. First, let's welcome to the ring a native of Sweden, Now fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. He is undefeated with 16 wins. 12 of his 16 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Robin Safar.
That's it. I've got a problem now. I'm a big Kovalev fan, but anyone walks out to Tupac music, I immediately jump on their side as well. This is our first time seeing Robin Safar. We didn't see him yesterday. He wasn't here. But, you know, let's see what he can do. It's a big ask against Kovalev, but he's the natural cruiserweight. He's the younger fighter. He's the fresher fighter. What a name this could be on his resume.
Oh, it's a massive name. And even though Kovalev might, is clearly at the end of his career, tail end of his career, it's still a big name, and it's still fantastic to project him up into the big leagues. If he's good enough, who knows? But you would tend to think that Kovalev at this age, it's all about working, making the old man work as hard as you possibly can. I think that would be where the hope for him to get the win. But you've got to get past that jab of Kovalev's, which is a bullet of a shot. Even at this age now, the stage of his career now, his jab is still one of the best in boxing.
Yeah, for sure. Safar, look, he's unbeaten. 16 fights, 16 wins, 12 knockouts. He doesn't know how to lose. But it's the big question, how good is he? I like what I've seen, but there's fighting and competing and looking good down the levels. Just when you're stepping up, yes, against a guy that's been there, done that, but way past his best, stepping up to an unnatural weight, if you like, campaigned at light heavy and done very, very well. We'll find out how good this man is, and we'll find out how much Kovalev's got left.
You know, my thing about Kovalev isn't necessarily his age. Look, 41's obviously old. It's not, not a spring chicken anymore. It's his inactivity. Yeah. He hasn't done anything for 2 years.
And also, Addy, how he lives his life outside the ring.
Yeah.
Well documented, of course, but and that takes a toll on you as well. Just training for living a bad life, or not living the life, and then just training for a fight. You can do that when you're younger. When you get older, you have to be more disciplined. And I'm not sure whether that's instilled in Sergey Kovalev.
Darren Barker,
brilliant.
Sorry, Baz. Darren Barker just gave Robin Safar the approval smile. You like what you saw in there?
Yeah, I like what I've seen in the build-up. This could be the upset on the card.
Thank you very much, Robin Safar. And now let's welcome to the ring a native of Russia, now fighting out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, USA. He brings a professional record consisting of 35 wins, 4 defeats, 1 draw, with 29 big wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the former unified light heavyweight champion of the world, Sergey the Crusher Kovalev.
Here comes the Crusher. So is that a camera? Is that a phone in his hand? Is he filming himself? I mean, these media workouts have taken a turn.
Let me tell you though, it shows you the magnitude of this. You think the big occasions he's been involved in, he's still soaking this up and wants to record it for his own bank, if you like. What a fighter though. In his day, one of the most feared men on the planet.
Again, I go back, like I said the other day, August 2013, when he came over to challenge Nathan Cleverly for his world title. We thought it was going to be a real 50-50 fight, and he demolished a real tough fighter in Nathan Cleverly. And also, he's still with Kathy Duva to this day, but back then we interviewed Kathy Duva, and when we said it was a 50-50, she couldn't stop laughing, just saying, okay, she was going, okay. We'll see on Saturday night, and he is one of the biggest punchers of recent times.
Yeah, the jump to light heavyweight to cruiserweight is the biggest jump you can make in boxing. Obviously, bridgerweight now to heavyweight, but that's the biggest one, light heavy to cruiser. What I like about him, he doesn't look like he's maxed out. Like, it doesn't look like he's taken all the extra weight he can take. He actually still looks pretty lean, doesn't he? Which I like.
Yeah, like we've touched on, Barry's mentioned a few times, the jab of Kovalev in its prime was one of the best jabs out there, and to throw a jab quickly and be effective with the shot, you need to have speed, and you have more speed if you're not carrying excess weight. And it looks, yeah, I agree with you, Ade, he hasn't gone overboard with the weight.
Sorry, look at the way he hits the right hand on the pads. can see the impact. You can see the shudder of the trainer's arm and everything. He can't go light. He's just a naturally heavy-handed fighter.
Don't get me excited. Don't get me excited, Baz. I still think there's something there. This is Sergey Kovalev's last 5 fights, and you can see the defeats there. Canelo Alvarez, that was off the back of a very, very short window after he beat Anthony Yarde, stopping Anthony Yarde in the 11th round of that one. And Elder Alvarez. But to be fair, this isn't even Kovalev at his best. You have to go back a few more years. So we're wanting to see something from almost 7, 8, 9 years ago.
But what he shows there, and even in it, he's a 3-time world champion. So even though he's lost, he's come back to win it again.
Yeah.
And he gave Andre Ward, what a fighter he was.
I thought Kovalev won that fight, the first one.
It was either way. It was very, very close, and most people did fancy him.
I think Ali Drew's going to get a few words with Sergey Kovalev. Let's hear what he has to say.
Sergey, before you leave the ring, it looks like you're enjoying yourself. You had your phone out, taking a selfie, videoing yourself. How good is it to be back in the mix?
Nice. I'm happy back to the ring and happy to boxing because long time didn't fight. I miss it and I will show my best, but already in cruiserweight division this Saturday.
Yeah,
and I make a video for my family. Through Instagram because not opportunity to watch the TV, you know.
Yeah, 2 years out of the ring. You feel like you're going to bring your best form on Saturday night?
Repeat again, please.
Are you going to bring your best form? You're going to be in your best form on Saturday, even after 2 years out?
Yes, I missed to fight, and I think so. Yes, I will bring my best shape. But already not like a heavyweight, like a cruiserweight division. And I want to get a title in this division, and I'll do my best this Saturday, yes, of course.
After all you've achieved in your career, what ambitions are still left for you to achieve?
Everything, wish, dreams, and motivation. Yeah, I have a lot of motivation to get a title.
Do you feel like you're taking it in, enjoying it a bit more now than you did earlier on in your career?
Yes. Repeat again.
Is he enjoying it more now as the beginning of his career?
Yes, right now I'm more happy because I'm not hungry. I like for food, but I'm hungry for the victories and hungry for the titles. I'm very big motivated and very excited to be here, part of this great show. And Saturday night is my night.
Brilliant. Thanks for talking to us. You can get out now.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next two fighters to the ring competing this Saturday in a scheduled 12-round contest. It is a final eliminator for the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the World. Let's first welcome to the ring, coming to us from Bochum, Germany. He brings an undefeated record with 24 wins, 16 of his 24 wins coming by way of knockout. Let's welcome the former two-time European champion, the current WBA, Intercontinental, and NABF heavyweight champion, and ranked number 3 in the world by the WBC, Agit Kabayel.
This one's a tough one to pick. I want to say it's a pick and fight, but I think a lot of people are swinging the way of Frank Sanchez. They done exactly the same thing when Agit Kabayel fought Makhmudov, and we saw how that played out. Big opportunity for both here. When you look at the top tier heavyweights, Darren, they're all past their age best, if you like. All mid-30s to late 30s. Two 31-year-olds in the ring. They'll look at this as a big opportunity to kick on with the division.
Yeah, be the next stars of this division, the marquee division in boxing, where there's millions and millions of pounds to be made. He's got bundles of talent and ability, and he showed that last time out against the Lion, the monster, Makhmudov, who was a big favourite in the fight. But he ripped up the script and he showed us what he's made of, not just tactically, but mentally.
Yeah, and I think what Darren said there, that's the tactics that he showed in that fight were really, really good. He got it right, he moved around the ring, made Makhmudov tire, And then when he did tire, he went to work. I think it was a fantastic performance, and yeah, he's probably at the best he's been so far.
Look who's turned up, look who's turned up, the great Teddy Atlas. There are not many voices I like hearing talk about the sport of boxing than this man. This is perfect timing as well, Teddy, because in the ring, got Agit Kavial, he takes on Frank Sanchez, a really good fight, 2 unbeaten kids here. How do you think this one plays out?
You know what, I'm looking for an upset. I'll be honest, I'm not hanging out with bookmakers, so I don't know all the lines, but I do understand that Sanchez is the favorite. So they're both good fighters. Neither one has learned how to lose, like we say when you're a trainer in my business. They haven't learned how. That's his strength. When you haven't learned how to lose, that is a quality to overcome to somebody. But Cabal, what I saw, the way he took that big guy apart, technically and mentally kept it together. And not only did it on the outside where he had an edge, but then went into the lion's den on the inside with the bigger guy, with the bigger puncher, and had the technique and the wherewithal mentally to stay calm in an uncalm environment inside the eye of the storm and get it done there and break him down in there. He showed me he's a good quality fighter, a solid fighter, and I would be picking him in this fight.
Do you think it's because of the energy that he brings, and Sanchez, though technically very good, doesn't really work for 3 minutes of a round?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's times when I wouldn't want a guy working 3 minutes around, and I'll tell you why. Because if he's in there with a guy like Cabal who can make you miss and you're working, he's going to hit you because you're working too much. So, you know, they got to listen to the Kenny Rogers song. You guys remember that song, even though you're not from the States. You got to know when to hold them and when to fold them, you know? So, and that's the trick. Yeah, we love guys to work a lot, but if you're working a lot with a counter puncher, with a guy who's slippery, a guy who's slick, like an Usyk, and you're throwing at him, you're going to get something that's going to miss and come back at you. So you have to pick your spots and be controlled with that.
This passion is unrivaled in boxing, I think. You absolutely live and breathe this sport, don't you?
I've never had another job. I don't know if that's something I should brag about. I painted one house when I was 18, and I did a good job. I scraped it off. I was proud. I put 3 coats of paint on it, you know, and I went back up to Catskill not too long ago just to look at it. It didn't look that good. So I'm glad. So I guess I picked the right. I guess I picked the right vocation.
Oh, without a doubt.
Teddy, I have to ask you before you go, the big one, Fury versus Usyk. Some are saying it's a 50-50 fight. Do you look at it as that?
Yeah. I look at it as any time that you can make an argument for both sides, you got a good fight. Yeah. And you guys got a good fight. And by the way, you guys do a great job.
Thank you, Teddy.
No, you really do. Because people can relate to you because you're real. You know, you're not talking above anybody, you're not talking beneath anybody, and you're talking the truth. And people can digest it. People can get it. And I appreciate you. I would just say that for me, it comes down to one key thing, the jab. Because for both guys, and I'll tell you what I mean. Fury, you know, he's very versatile. He's very athletic for a big son of a gun. And he can use that size 2 different ways. We've seen it. He can go forward, impose his physicality and his will. He's got a great will. He wouldn't be alive today if he didn't have a great will. Yeah. So that's enough said. And Usyk has a great will. Usyk is one of the greatest winners we've ever seen. Yes. And that's one of his greatest talents. He knows how to win. But Teddy, the jab, the elusiveness, the footwork, no, he knows how to win. That's probably his greatest talent, along with everything else. But the thing there is that with Fury, he has a choice. Usyk don't have a lot of choice, but he's got a choice. He could go impose his physicality and his will, or he can stay on the outside with that great wingspan, that great size, and he can control you with the jab on the outside. That's what won the Ngannou fight for him, really, if we're going to get it. Now, Ngannou, I know there's an asterisk next to that, because that wasn't Fury. He wasn't mentally ready. I'm not taking nothing away from Ngannou that night. He was terrific. But he wasn't mentally ready. He wasn't taking the guy serious. And when you're not taking a guy serious, 75% of this game is mental. And when you're not mentally into it, you got a problem. And you can't change gears. He gets dropped in the 3rd round. It's hard to change gears and say, oh, now I'm in a fight. No, you didn't come there to be ready for a fight. It's kind of hard to now get ready after you've been dropped. And he did. He won it by controlling range. and keeping Ngannou negated from using his power on the outside. For me, they both got good people around them. But for me, if I was with Fury, I'd be looking to stay on the outside. What does Usyk do well? He counterpunches. What does he got to have? He's got to have help to counterpunch. In other words, he's got to have something close enough to him to counter. If you stand on the outside with that reach that goes from here to over there with Fury, there's nothing to counter. So if he stays out there and uses that jab and continues to take little steps off of it, like in other words, Usyk tries to come in 4 inches, you go back 12 inches. If he controls range and controls that jab, it's going to make it a very difficult night for Usyk to close those gaps and do what he does so well. Give angles, counterpunch, put combinations together. It's going to make that very difficult. But on the other side, I said the jab for both guys is important. What do I mean by that? If I'm with Usyk, there's one thing that I'm saying from the first day of camp. We are not getting beat by the jab. We might get beat something else. Well, hopefully he don't hit us an uppercut, but we're not getting beat by the jab because that's the one thing he's going to look to do. And that's the one thing he can dominate the night with. So we're going to find a way before this camp is over to nullify the jab. Not to get, whether it's to slip like Tyson used to do, bang, bang, slip off, bang, bang, and get inside, or whether it's to step out and step in, whatever, feign him a little bit, draw his jab, and then counter the counter-puncher, whatever it is, we are gonna find a way to negate his jab, and we ain't getting beat with that.
Teddy, if I was you, I would send an invoice to DAZN for that 10-minute breakdown. Absolutely fantastic, Teddy. There's a queue of people that want to talk to you down there. Everyone still loves you, Teddy. Everyone still loves you. I love you.
I love you guys.
Don't go anywhere. Please stay.
I love you, Teddy. He's got to go. In Teddy's voice, he's got to go. You got to get out of it, Teddy. Thank you very much, Teddy. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Honestly, thank you. The great Teddy Atlas. I mean, come on. It's fantastic. That was...
I kid you not, I could listen to him all night long. That passion is incredible. The way he digests a fight, breaks it down, and doesn't overcomplicate things. I mean, what a guy. He's a history book.
If he told me to jump off this platform now, I would do it.
Yeah.
He's that sort, he's the guy you need in a hard fight in round 11.
I remember, it's funny you say that, I was watching a piece recently where, obviously, he used to train Timothy Bradley, and you see him in the corner, we're firemen. We extinguish anything. He's that good. As is that man who's good as well. The great Frank Sanchez in the ring, unbeaten Cuban, trained by the great Eddie Reynoso, the same trainer, obviously, that trained the great Canelo Alvarez. A lot of greats here, but they all deserve that title. He's someone that just needs to get through gear 1 and go to gear 3 and 4 straight away, I think.
Because it's there. It's there. I said this yesterday. We're not asking him to do something we know he can't do. It's not impossible for Frank Sanchez to go through the gears. When he does it, he's a superstar. He looks fantastic. The hand speed that he carries is brilliant. You can see how elusive he is. When he got to grips with Junior Farr, who, don't get me wrong, was a nightmare. He was tall, he was rangy, he was game. But when he got down to business, he showed what a tremendous fighter he is. There is a real claim that he could be a real problem in this division. Still only 31. With that desire, that technical ability, wow.
What he can do so well, he can crawl you down. Not walk, crawl you down. So it's a big step, but let you throw first. And he got such good timing and judgment of distance that he'll get there with a good solid shot as well. And then what that does straight away, it stops you from throwing punches, which means then he can literally walk up on you and go to work. But he needs, and I think with Teddy's right, you don't want him to punch him from the first minute to the last minute of every, first second to the last second of every round. But he's got to go through 3, 4 or 5 more phases in each round to make him more effective against a guy who's got to throw lots of punches and do lots of movements.
What do you both make of what Teddy said in terms of making Agit Caballero the favourite to win? He said he expects there to be an upset, and he meant Caballero beating Sanchez.
Yeah, I think he done that last time, didn't he? So there's no reason why he couldn't do that again. He's very cute, Caballero. He knows how to fight. He knows how to avoid shots and fire back with counters. There's a lot of self-belief. He has the same aura that he had against Makhmudov. Kabayel in the build-up to this fight. There's an arrogance slightly that you want to see from fighters. It's quite hard to gauge with Frank Sanchez, who doesn't speak as good English as Kabayel, but Kabayel, like I say, fancies this. I can see where Teddy's coming from.
I think, though, Sanchez is a much better fighter than Makhmoudov. Makhmoudov's a giant and heavy-handed. Yeah. This guy's a talent.
The Cuban Flash, Sanchez.
Frank Sanchez, unbeaten, looking to really jump to that elite world level. Let's see if he can do that on Saturday. DAZN, the home of boxing. So much to come on Saturday, so much to come in the next few months.
Fight fans, welcome back. Boxing is buzzing and the best are ready to bump heads. Showcasing over 150 fights a year, DAZN is the only place to watch these warriors worldwide every weekend. Size matters as two big men create one huge occasion. An undisputed king will emerge on May 18th when Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk finally trade heavyweight leather. If you come for the king, you better not miss. A 5 versus 5 battle for bragging rights. Frank and Eddie send forth their stables to settle old scores. Few would settle the score with Sabriel Matias. June 15th, undefeated Lehman Perro marches forward to take on boxing's bona fide beast. June 29th, Phoenix will rise for two men with their eyes on the prize as Bam Rodriguez and Juan Francisco Estrada show that size actually doesn't matter at all. Explosive contests, multiple champions, just one place to catch every punch.
Look at that, look at that. I mean, so far so good in terms of fighters coming into the ring, showcasing their skills. It's teasing us to what is to come on Saturday, and it is a big show. It is a big card. And Mairis Briedis will be hoping it's a big card for him as well, Darren. Look, you spoke to him earlier in the week, and he almost made it seem as though this could be his last one, Briedis. That if he were to lose this one, that's that.
Yeah, regardless, I think even if he was to win, I think he's going to call it a day. Glittering career already, reigned supreme in the division, got beat by Master and Usyk. But I've seen some of his fights, actually commentating on Dorticus, the Cuban, and Golovacki, which is madness. There's so much he can look back on with pride in his career, but he still feels there's some unfinished business, which is crazy. It's going to be so tough with the 2 years out the ring against a guy that's confidence and ability and now gaining in experience with Jaya Opetaia. It's a tough task. I would see this as a huge upset if he was to win this fight.
All right, let's see what he can do. Let's see what he can showcase in the next couple of minutes. Let's throw it back downstairs to Thomas Schreiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next two fighters to the ring, competing this Saturday night in a 12-round contest. It will be for the vacant IBF Cruiserweight Championship of the World. Let's first welcome to the ring, coming to us from Riga, Latvia. He brings a professional record consisting of 28 wins, 2 defeats, with 20 of his 28 wins coming by way of knockout. Let's welcome the former 3-time Cruiserweight World Champion, Mairis Briedis.
Quite a few veterans on this card, hoping for that one last opportunity, hoping to show that there's still something left in the tank. Obviously, Mairis Briedis just ticks that box, doesn't he? He is one of those veterans. And of all the veterans, he's got the toughest task as well. That's the problem. In front of him is arguably one of the hottest prospects in world boxing now, Barry.
Yeah, it really is. And I think, you know, he's been in before with Opetaia, of course. You think that would be a plus, but I think that's a plus for Opetaia because he's never been at that level before. He knows what he has to do now. And I do think that with Briedis, not so much in the 2 years out, he was calling out YouTubers and stuff like that. And I think that might be...
I hated that, by the way.
No, but he just wants to make some money. But I think that his mind's in a different place. And for a fight that might be really physically draining, and I can't believe I'm saying this, I'm not sure whether he's going to be up for the task. And we're talking about a guy who's dined out, not just skill, but innate toughness in his contest.
I 100% agree with you, but I'm just going to play devil's advocate here. I'm pretty sure he would have planted some demons to Jair Opetaia. The injury that he suffered off Opetaia is horrible. The fractures on that jaw that this man caused was terrible. It really was terrible. I can't even think of a worse word. It was disgusting how bad the fractures were to the jaw of Opetaia. He'll be hoping, is there anything negative there? Is he planted some horrible negative seeds in Opetaia that's going to make him think, whoa, I don't want to get engaged with Briedis again, who can punch? That's evident. To cause that kind of damage, you can really, really whack, but he's up against it.
I just think it gives Opetaia the opportunity to know what he has to do, to start faster, to go deeper. I think, I know you've had the first real hard fight, you know you got it now, you think you got it, but you know, so you know though, you'll go to that well quicker and stay there. I think that's what's going to be a plus for Opetaia. But Briedis, if he can roll back the clock a little bit, it's going to be a really, really good fight.
What do you make of the sunglasses? Are you a sunglasses at night person?
No.
Sunglasses at night in the ring person?
No. But he can do what he wants.
Yeah, he can.
With the career that he's had.
He's doubly hard as well.
Yeah, he's proper hard.
Yeah.
And he's enjoying it.
He really is, isn't he?
Yeah, most of it.
Technically sound. Very, very good.
Technically sound. As tough as old boots.
Physically solid, yeah.
Physically solid. Is it just age and who he's up against?
Yeah, and how much desire is really left.
Yeah.
How much is really left.
That's it, Darren. The desire, I think. Going for a semi-workout here, to be fair.
And he's wrapped up.
Yeah, we forget about that, don't we? You know, making weight, as you get older, you start to, widen out, thicken up a little bit, and that could be a problem for him. And I would say about I know we're going to see Jair Opetaia next, but Jair Opetaia, has been fantastic. But I would say his two defences of his title weren't at the level of this.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can expect you're going to breeze through everybody. These box good fighters who might end up being better than they are now. I think they will be, but still, where they were, they weren't at this level. So going down a level sometimes is not always a good thing, because you think you're a destructive force where you go back up to this level again and you might have a bit of a shock.
Yeah, and those two defences were against Jordan Thompson back in London, Ellis Zorro over here in Rio. Jordan Thompson lasted, 4 rounds? Ellis Zorro, just a round.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal knockout. I'm intrigued to see how Briedis' punch resistance is. You hear it all the time. The last thing that a fighter loses is their punch, but the first thing that goes is the punch resistance.
I'd say the first thing that goes is the vision.
Yeah.
I'm
struggling with that now, Barry.
Yeah, I know. I noticed. I'm stood on the other side, you Darren. You haven't noticed. It's when you throw the punch, you don't see it from the shoulder. You see it too close to your face, and you can't brace for it. So you think it's the punch resistance. I just think you can't brace yourself for the shock, and you've seen it too late.
Mairis, that looked like you enjoyed every second.
Salam alaikum, Saudi Arabia. Of course, 3 minutes, it's enough. I mean, this is very, very small time for show something. That's why I try to warm up the people who watch, and because everybody stay like soldiers. Okay, next time.
Now, you've not fought since the last fight with Opetaia. All that time in the gym, grafting, do you think that's what's going to make the difference on Saturday night?
I think this will be most interesting fight, most harder fight, and for both guys, for me and for him. And yeah, it's hot country, and fights will be very hot.
Mr. Sauerland, promoter, will just bring you in. You did say you were going to do some yoga in here. I don't know if you're actually going to or not. Didn't think I'd say that. We were expecting this rematch maybe a little bit sooner, but how good is it that it's happening and on such a platform?
I mean, listen, the first one was absolutely brilliant. It was in Australia, so not that many people watched it, but it was an unbelievable fight, and I expect this one to be even better. I think it's going to be the fight of the night. It's going to steal the show.
Steal the show on Saturday night. No pressure, but thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for support. Bye-bye. See you in the ring.
Thank you, Mairis Briedis. Ladies and gentlemen, our next two fighters to the ring competing this Saturday night in a scheduled 12-round contest. It will be for both the IBF and IBO Super Featherweight Championships of the World. Let's first welcome to the ring, coming to us from Belfast, Northern Ireland. He brings a professional record of 21 wins, just 1 defeat, 7 wins, coming by way of knockout. Here is the reigning and defending IBO Super Featherweight Champion of the World, Anthony, the Andy Town Apache Kakachi.
And actually, and I was a bit confused by it all as well. I think it is Opetaia that's making his way to the ring. Thomas Schreiber's actually, I think, going to re-announce that it is Opetaia and not Kakachi and Cordina. That is the fight after.
Imagine Joe Cordina watching this and thinking, I'm not fighting Opetaia.
Yeah,
no, actually, Cordina would fancy him.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next two fighters to the ring, competing in a 12-round contest for the vacant IBF Cruiserweight Championship of the World. Let's now welcome the opponent from Sydney, Australia, a former 2012 Olympian, undefeated, 24 wins, 19 wins by knockout, the current Ring Magazine champion and undefeated former IBF Cruiserweight World Champion, Opetaia.
There you go. There you go. The right man. We get it right in the end. That's the most important thing. Opetaia in the ring. Look, I mean, there's so many superlatives in which I can bestow upon this man. But the simple one is right now, he should be the IBF champion, and he wants his belt back.
Similar to Joe Cordina, who we're going to see in the next contest, you know, was stripped of the title kind of unfairly, but had the opportunity then to become a two-time world champion. That's the same for this man. It looks good, it sounds good, two-time world champion. This man has it all for me. He has technical ability on another level. His footwork's brilliant. His chin, unrivaled, I guess, now after what happened to him against Briedis, but what a fighter.
Look who's joined us, finally about to do some work. I know he's been traveling around the world. Eddie Hearn has joined us as one of his star possessions, his prized possessions is in the ring. We've been talking so highly about this young man. I mean, you've got so many fantastic young talents, but he must be right up there in terms of pecking order.
You know what, I just saw him backstage, looks unbelievable. Like, I think really excited for this fight because the last two fights against Zorro and Jordan Thompson, they've been impressive, but they've been quite straightforward. If you watch the first fight, you'll know that Briedis broke Opetaia's jaw in 2 places in that fight. It was an absolute war. It's a tough fight, you know? But I think you're going to see the improvements of Opetaia in this fight, and I think he's going to stop him. I think he'll knock out Briedis on Saturday night.
Ade spoke to him a couple of days ago, and he mentioned about his plans. He wasn't overlooking the fight on Saturday, but he was talking about bridgerweight, heavyweight. In your opinion, is that a plan already you're looking at?
You know what, he's pretty much on weight, Darren, already. Like, it's not like he's a cruiserweight that's like struggling to make, you know, the limit. A little bit like Oleksandr Usyk, he wasn't either. So the money fights are always, of course, up at heavyweight. Honestly, bridgerweight, I don't see an attraction there. I don't think he's motivated by that. If there was a quick fight for a world championship at bridgerweight, maybe. But you know, if he's going to move, I think he moves to heavyweight. But I would still like to see him capture the other belts. It's just going to be difficult to get the opposition. If he does stop Briedis on Saturday night, I can't imagine people queuing up to fight him unless they're going to get paid for the pleasure. And out here, that's possible. So I would like to see him capture those other belts. I would say that a move to heavyweight is, of course, at some point on the cards. It has to be for a guy that wants to go on and make millions and millions in the sport, because it's not there at cruiserweight. But you know, the movement that he has, cause a lot of heavyweights problems. But I will say, he's on the number. It's not like, you know, oh, he's up against it to make the weight. He can't wait to move to heavyweight. There's a lot of mileage left in the cruiserweight career of Jai Opetaia.
I agree with you. I think he does stop Briedis. I think he puts on a great performance. I want to ask you about him, because Simran's the word I think of. Is he always an angry man?
Yeah, it's weird. You know, I think he comes across more angry than he actually is. Like, you know, I just saw him backstage, and I wouldn't say we were having a laugh, but he said he offered me some Samoan food, and I was getting quite excited, and, you know, but he's pretty much all business. You know, he's a very serious guy. A lot of people don't know he's a very good amateur as well. You know, he really excelled, you know, in that code as well. So it's a
Ed,
very...
I'm going to have to cut in just for 2
Okay,
minutes, just
well,
because
fine.
I don't
Well,
really...
You've got some front, Eddie.
I don't really want to upset the big man. It's your fighter in the ring, Eddie, and Ali wants to speak to him.
I'll let you off.
Just waiting for your promoter, Eddie Hearn, to finish talking about you. How are you feeling? We've seen you in previous fights, leading up to fight night, laser focused. Are we at that stage yet?
Definitely. I'm sick of the weight. You know, I'm ready to jump in the ring.
You've had some fantastic performances since the first fight with Briedis. How much of a better fighter is coming in the ring from you?
I feel like we're always growing, we're always learning, we're always progressing, and I'm looking on putting a career best performance.
As well as yourself being a better fighter, are you expecting a better version of Briedis on the night?
Yeah, I'm expecting the best version of Briedis. You know, I'm prepared for the best version of Briedis. So anything less than 12 rounds of war, I'll be disappointed.
Well, you say that, but I have just heard Eddie Hearn say that he believes that you will get the knockout on Saturday. Do you think that's going to be the case? Do you think that's how it ends?
I'm prepared for 12 rounds of war. If the knockout comes, it comes. But I'm ready for 12 hard rounds.
Focused in. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
I like the way he's got the Ring Magazine belt kind of around his shoulder. It's almost just a bit of a statement there. You took the IBF, you're not taking this one.
Yeah, for sure. It just shows you, doesn't it, Ed, what that belt means to fighters.
Well, it's so bizarre. I mean, you know, he was ordered to fight Mairis Briedis for the championship. Briedis wasn't ready, so he requested to have a fight in the interim, and the IBF said no. So they stripped him, and now he's fighting for the title again. I mean, it all seems a bit silly, really, but let's be honest, I don't think there's anyone on the planet that doesn't agree that Jai Opetaia is the best cruiserweight in the world right now. So the belts are nice, and we want to see him unify as quick as possible.
All right, let's see what he can do. Another one of your charges are about to make their way to the ring. So let's go to Thomas Schreiber, because he's going to introduce Kakachi and Cordina.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next two fighters competing this Saturday night in a 12-round contest. It will be for both the IBF and IBO Super Featherweight Championships of the world. Let's first welcome, coming to us from Belfast, Northern Ireland. He brings a record of 21 wins, 1 defeat, 7 wins. Coming by way of knockout, let's welcome the reigning and defending IBO Super Featherweight Champion of the World, Anthony, the Andy Town Apache Kakachi.
Eddie, was there any thoughts of making this fight in the past? Was Kakachi on the radar at all for Cordina?
Yeah, it was actually, even in an Eliminator or European Championship a few years ago. Obviously, this is a beautiful warm-up for Matchroom v Queensbury in the 5v5.
Yes.
Psychologically, we want to deliver this blow right to the heart, you know, and see Joe Cordina come through. One thing I think interested about this fight is, don't forget this fight was previously scheduled for February for the Fury Usyk fight. And that fight came around really quickly for Joe Cordina. Like, he was in camp, he had to fly out to Los Angeles with Tony Sims and the boys. And he would have been okay, but I don't think he would have been 100%. I don't think the weight would have been perfect. And that's the real struggle for Joe these days at 130, making sure he does the weight right. That extra time in camp, I think he looks brilliant right now. He's been out here a long time, I think 2 weeks already. Him and Tony Sims running in this heat like lunatics, and I think you're going to get a really good performance from Joe Cordina. But this is a tough fight.
Why Anthony Akachi? Sorry, Barry. Why Anthony Akachi?
Because, you know, obviously we were asked if we wanted to have a fight on the card. We put forward Joe Cordina. Frank Warren put forward Anthony Kakachi. He's well ranked with the IBF. You know, he's another Brit, you know, Northern Ireland guy. So, you know, it's a good fight. And for Joe, all Joe Cordina is interested in now is the biggest fights. He's been quite honest about it. The most amount of money and the most amount of gold. and belts and everything that he can win. So this fight financially for him obviously was a big opportunity. But a lot of the guys in this position on these cards are hoping to grab the attention of His Excellency to say, all right, he's back in October, you know, or he's on the Wembley card, or he's in the USA versus UK card as well. And Joe got a taste for it out here. He likes the finer things in life.
What is
I think
next?
he'd like to.
What is next for Joe? If he gets through Kakachi in impressive style,
I think, you know,
is it a guaranteed move up?
There's a very dangerous mandatory against Sugar Nunes, our guy who's a beast at 130 as well. So he's going to have to look to do something unique, and I think that comes with a unification. I think the Lamont Roach fight is a great fight. Potentially, if that USA versus UK fight happens, we'll see what happens with Lee Wood as well. I'd still like to see that matchup. I think it's a great fight for British fight fans as well. And also potentially a move to 135 pounds. You know, you see a lot of that lightweight division now moving up. You know, I don't know, is there a George Kambosos fight? Is there a, you know, a Lomachenko, a Shakur Stevenson fight in the UK perhaps? But Joe just wants the biggest fights out there. He's a two-time world champion. He's at that age now where he wants to maximise his career. And I rate him highly. I think a lot of people will be looking at the Monaco performance thinking, but I prefer to look at the Ogawa and the Rakimov performance that showed all the facets of his game, from sharpness and punch power to a kid that's got a lot of dog in him as well.
Eddie, just before we let you go, we've got to ask, obviously, your thoughts on the main event, Tyson Fury versus Oleksandr Usyk. A lot of people have gone back and forth with it. I feel like you've maybe firmly stuck with, not firmly, but you've maybe said that you think Fury will get it done. Is that right?
Just because I knew John Fury was out here. So this is how I see now. I've had another think about it, right? I think that Fury is going to box off the back foot, right? He's going to box very defensively, I think almost like the Klitschko performance. And I think Usyk's going to actually box on the front foot and box very aggressively in this fight and walk him down. The danger for Tyson Fury boxing that style is, against a volume puncher like Oleksandr Usyk, you can't just get away with pot shots and one shots and holding and grabbing. You've got to be trading with him and you've got to be landing shots, because Usyk, I think, will quite enjoy walking Tyson Fury down. I said earlier in the week that actually I prefer the aggressive Tyson Fury, and maybe he could win the fight by stoppage, but I've now just confused myself and I don't know what I'm talking about. But for somehow, I'm back in the Brit and I'm going for Tyson Fury. I said stoppage, but I'm going Tyson Fury on points on Saturday night.
Eddie just wants AJ versus Fury. That's why he's saying that. All right, let's go back down to Thomas Tribe, because Joe Cordina is going to make his way in the ring.
And now let's welcome, coming to us from Cardiff, Wales. He is a former 2016 Olympian, now undefeated as a professional with 17 wins, 9 of his 17 wins coming by way of knockout. Let's welcome the reigning and defending IBF Super Featherweight Champion of the World, the Welsh Wizard, Joe Cordina.
I know Eddie mentioned possible unification fights at Super Feather. I just feel that this is the last time we're going to see him at this weight. I think he's jumping up to 135 pounds straight after this fight.
Yeah, I've been saying for a while. He turned pro as a lightweight. He's massive for the weight, and I do think that, yeah, a move up as quick as possible for him.
How nice to have the options, though. If he does move up to lightweight, to go up there with a great pedigree behind him, a well-established name, so you're already going into that division, a star if you like. But it's brilliant. That's what you want as a fighter. You know, I could never have moved up to super middleweight. I never had the option. I wasn't strong enough. Wasn't big enough. Joe can do that. You know, he's a huge super featherweight. He's got options, and he buzzes off of that.
The problem he has is, at the minute, the title defines him. If that makes any sense. Where, you know, he's not. He's a fantastic fighter, but he's not the global star, so he's not going to get the guaranteed shot at Lomachenko and other big names around him, because he's a dangerous fighter without the clout of those big names. So he's going to have to go up and maybe box at Kambosos, as Eddie said, for a non-title fight, and put on a clinic, and then he will get the opportunity.
I like that fight. I actually like that one. Kambosos versus Cordina. I like that a lot.
You can sell that
easily.
I mean, that's a big fight. It'd be a lot of fun, and I think Tony Sims probably echoes exactly what you said, Barry, there. You know, the title right now is defining Joe, and that's where he's a star, a real star in the super featherweight.
But that makes every fight, when you're struggling to fight, every fight a risk. Because, you know, he's not a young chicken, he's not a spring chicken anymore, though he's still got plenty of miles on the clock. But making the weights hard for him. He's a dedicated athlete, we know that. But it's hard, it's difficult, and we've seen in the Vasquez fight, you know, he was a great fight, and he can box at a high pace, but he lacked the intensity of the other fights, and I think that is solely just the weight.
Is there a danger? Tony Sims will have him nailed down mentally, But I feel like we're not overlooking Kakachi, but we're all talking about potential fights in another division. Is there a danger that he kind of does that as he did with Vasquez?
Well, I look at that Vasquez fight and I think, well, he'll look at that and think, well, I overlooked Vasquez. I've said that myself. You know, I just didn't really rate him. I thought I was going to blitz him. I'd had 2 really impressive victories beforehand. The Ogawa knockout is the one I've watched most. The Rakhmonov fight was, you know, you could easily be fight of the year, or I'm sure it was for many people. He'll look at that Vasquez fight and think, I've underestimated him. That's all it was. I'm not going to do the same again. That's what experience is all about, Addy, is looking back at those fights and improving from them.
And also against Kakachi, he does have the luxury that he has with other fighters. Kakachi's tall, long reach. So Joe's brilliant. He can box in pretty much any style. But he's not going to have the luxury of having the advantages that he's had over other super featherweights. So he'll know it's a big fight. You know how good Kakachi is on his day. And he knows it as well that any mistake now at this age for a super featherweight, you know, could be catastrophic for him.
Thank you very much to the Welsh Wizard, Joe Cordina.
Joe Cordina, the Welsh Wizard, hopefully doing a bit of magic on Saturday for him. But as you say, Barry, Kakachi's dangerous.
He is dangerous. But I tell you what, like Eddie was saying about, you know, it's a great fight, and also that fight and the Briedis fight. So I just, for the matchup stylistically, a fantastic contest. They really are. But I do think, Joe, if you always got to go for a fight, unless you've seen a massive decline, the best of that person versus the best of that person. And I think the best of Cordina, you would think, would have enough, even though he's going to be rough and tough, enough to get over the line against Kakachi.
I think the majority of people at home will think he gets over the job on Saturday. How does he do it, though?
I think a lot of pressure early. I think he doesn't have to be throwing loads and loads of shots, but there can be lots of pressure with the front foot, lots of feints with the feet and the hands. Try and mentally drain Kakachi. That's so important. Make him feel all those 35 years.
All right, the Fury Force are full. They're here, all of them in town. And Ali Drew is ringside with John Fury and Tommy Fury.
John and Tommy, a mammoth week for Tyson, but also for the Fury family. Does it get much bigger than this?
No, I mean, this is the highest stage it can be on. It's all the marbles on the line. It's the biggest fight in 50 years. I mean, if you can't get up for this, I don't know what you can get up for. So what an event, and proud to be in Saudi Arabia.
Does this week feel different compared to previous big, you know, Tyson Fury fight weeks? They're all huge, but does this feel that little bit more special?
Yes, because of where it's at. We're in the great kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and there's only these people, the Saudis, can put a fight like this on. You know, for my mind, it's the 9th wonder of the world going to happen here Saturday night. You know, it's going to be remembered in 100 years to come and more, you know, and we can only thank the great kingdom of Saudi and Turkey Al Sheikh for all the powers to be helped to put all this on. We're only privileged to be here, and all we want to do is serve up a great fight and be victorious, and I'm sure we will be.
It's been quite an eventful week so far, especially for you, John. Is there more to come? We can't really expect anything less from the Fury family.
The thing is, you know, we're in the fight game. People must understand that. And in Britain, I think we've lost our way a bit. You know, I'm a guy from the 80s. You know, that's every day of the week that happens, you know, and it's no big deal. You know, it's a sport. You know, we're all rough and tumble, big guys, full of testosterone, and things happen. You know, emotions run high. But listen, hear this. I mean, no harm to any Ukrainian. I've got the height of respect from and good luck with all the troubles. You know, but listen, we're all fighters, and that's what you can get from fighters.
Yeah, and it's very passionate this week from both sides.
That's the word I was looking for. Thank you for that.
Tyson's looking in great shape. Is that the game plan? Is that the sort of main game plan going into this?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we've been there, we've seen him spar, we've seen him train, and especially leading up to the fight on this week. It's the best we've ever seen him. He's razor sharp, he's mentally focused. You know, everybody's seen from the pictures that's been out there. He's trained really hard for this, and he's in the best shape that he's been in. And if he just does what he's been doing in the gym, I believe he walks through Usyk, and that's it. Because on his day, Tyson can't be beaten. If he shows up mentally prepared, you know, which he is, I don't see anybody in the world beating him ever, past or present.
Well, it's all happening on Saturday night. But before we go, Tommy, what is next for you? When are we next seeing you fighting?
Just recovering from the surgery that I had in January, so hopefully by the end of the year we can get into another big fight, and that's the plan for me. I just want to be active. I don't really want to fight once, twice a year anymore. I want to get in there and actually hone my skills and get the best out of myself. But I'm sure there's another big fight looming, which everybody will hear soon, and hopefully we can get some good news out there.
You're going to tease us with any names?
Not just yet, you'll have to stay tuned.
Brilliant, thanks for your time.
We all know the names we're looking at, don't we? Well, listen, thank you for having us on stage. Thank the great Kingdom of Saudi, all the people that's attended and what's going to buy the pay-per-view. I'm sure you will not be disappointed. Great things going to happen Saturday night. Thanks, everybody, for attending. God bless you all.
Thanks for joining us.
Just 2 more to go, and those 2 are the 2 best heavyweights on planet Earth, arguably the 2 best heavyweights of this generation. And we are going to see Oleksandr Usyk step in the ring first. And I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know if he's going to do the little trick with the ball and the string. I don't know if he's going to come in there and do absolutely nothing. But we know he's going to deliver on Saturday night. He's going to fight. That's what we know.
Yeah. Like Teddy Atlas says, he doesn't know how to lose. He's a winning machine. That's what he does. He finds a way. He finds a way to win. And he'll do everything he can to find a way on Saturday. He's such an incredible fighter. Like I've said this, I sound like a broken record. Someone who makes their profession look easy. He's that person. You know, when he's in full flow, you think just, oh, wow, this is poetry in motion. And that's what he's going to try and do on Saturday night. The team are convinced. They're absolute. I know everyone's going to say, well, they're going to say that. Me and Barry were just down there with the team, and there's no cameras there, and they're like, we're going to stop this guy. This guy is going to, he's going to get stopped. And there was no lies. He wasn't hiding behind words. And you thought, wow, this is a proper fight.
Yeah, look, so many pieces of fantastic documentaries on our platform in the lead up to Fury versus Usyk. This one is fantastic. Here's a little tease for you.
The moment the world has been waiting for.
All 4 belts are on the line.
Fireworks. 25 years since the last undisputed champion.
I understand what it's like moving up. You will never get back.
I could see in his eyes that he wanted it.
Oleksandr Usyk's a bad mother.
Best fight he ever faced.
Only person standing in front of him now is me. Then he will have battered his way through Griffin. And we can't be having that.
The Ring of Fire.
As with all main event fighters, I've realized this now, since covering the sport of boxing, they like to hit their time.
Oh, yeah.
And Oleksandr Usyk and Tyson Fury are running slightly behind. That's just kind of what they do. The mind games, ladies and gentlemen, have started now. It starts early, doesn't it? This is what they do.
Yeah, it's heavyweight boxing, I'm afraid. I remember it being a kid, you know, waiting for the heavyweights to turn up so you can weigh in. You know, they don't have to worry about the weight. They just turn up when they want. And I mean, it's the same with this. It's, you know, it all builds to the tension for me. You know, as much as we want to see him in the ring, it just builds the excitement. It builds the energy. Everybody wants to see these 2 guys, and everyone wants to see them on Saturday night. Massive.
I just feel sorry for Thomas Schreiber, who's in the middle of the ring, waiting. Look, he wants us to throw to him. Thomas, not yet. I'm sorry, Thomas, not yet. We're waiting for Usyk to come and Fury. Couple more minutes, Thomas. But no, look, I mean, we do have something special on Saturday. I mean, I know we keep saying it, but I really want to emphasize just how good a contest it will be. Everyone we ask is on the fence, is split. No one's like 100% Fury, 100% Usyk. That's what makes it so special.
And we say it all the time, but I do think those early rounds, they might not win you the fight, but you'll see how the pattern's going to play out. And I do think that Usyk's going to have to take the centre ring and put the pressure on Tyson Fury and try and make him work hard. Usyk punches off your punches very well. With the lateral movement as he's stepping forward, forces you to throw when you're uncomfortable, and then works off that, and then spins around the target at the heavyweight, because he has to stay light on his feet to not take any fire back. And if he can do that against a Fury who punches and leans back, it's going to be difficult, but Fury will throw, and then Usyk will throw off that, and then Fury leans all the way back off that back foot. You can't get to him. Because don't forget about Tyson Fury being tall. He has a massive reach. It's longer than it should be for his height, I feel, and that gets him out of trouble so many times. So Usyk's going to have to take a bit of a risk of leaping into the target now and again to do what he does so well.
Who's got the biggest win on their resume? Is it Fury Klitschko, or is it Usyk jumping up in weight and beating AJ twice? Who's got the biggest win?
Well, there was the fear factor around Wilder, wasn't there? I think for Fury, everyone's saying the
first one, yeah.
The first one.
Yeah.
You know, they're one of the biggest punches the division's seen. But then you see the form that AJ was bringing into the fight and Usyk stepping up. It was remarkable. I'm probably leaning towards Usyk if I'm deadly honest.
I'm the other way.
Yeah, and I can understand that. I can understand that, but I've seen Wilder not looking so great. I think maybe was the reputation a little higher? Was there a little too much fanfare? What was the quality of opponent of Wilder like? You know, was he as good as people made out? No doubt he punched as hard, so it may, you know, glamorise that victory a little bit. But with AJ, we know very good fight. Look, it's like that.
It's like that. Tony Sims, your former trainer, is going to come in now. Very nice of him to come in. Tone, how are you?
How you doing? You're
yeah,
good,
not bad, Tone. How's Joe? We've been talking about the weight. We're all thinking he's going to make that move to lightweight. How's he struggling or comfortable in making super feather?
Yeah, we've been out here for 3 weeks, so
it's hot out here.
Yeah, no, he's done the weight really well. He was like 3 pound over today, so you know he's done the weight easy, to be honest. And you know, it's been a good camp out here. We've stayed on the same resort as Tyson Fury. We're the only 2 camps on that resort, so we had a really good camp. No distractions. So yeah, it's been great.
Yeah. So, sorry, I was going to jump in. How is his opponent, Anthony Akachi, a different fighter? I remember him fighting Mike Ward, who trained back in 2017. How is he a different fighter now?
Just obviously experience, you know. He's that was a few years ago. He fought Martin, and Martin boxed well that night, I thought, and he was strong though, and he was a tough competitor. Obviously, experience makes you a better fighter, and I believe Joe will be superior to Anthony on the night, you know, and obviously Joe's looking for the big name fights as well now, so he's pretty confident of winning this fight.
I was going to say that, Tony. Has there been a frustration for Joe and for yourself that, you know, after that the great win against Rakhimov, Ogawa of course, and also the Rakhimov fight, that he hasn't had the opportunity to really showcase his ability at a slightly higher or bigger platform, if you will?
Yeah, obviously he wants the big names. He's won the world title twice, and you know yourself, Barry, it's not that easy just to make the big fights. You know, it's pretty difficult. There's a lot goes into the contracting of everything, and but I think after this fight, you know, he comes through this fight, I think his next fight will be either you know, a big name or a unification.
That's what we want to see him in. Tone, I've got to ask your opinion on the main event. Tyson Fury versus Oleksandr Usyk. A lot of people saying it's a 50-50 fight. How do you see this playing out?
Yeah, it's obviously a 50-50 fight. I feel like a lot of the media are leaning toward Usyk beating Tyson, but obviously I've been with Tyson for the last couple of weeks in camp. I watched him train. He's in unbelievable condition, like probably the best condition he's ever been in his life. When you're talking to him, he's like super confident that Usyk cannot beat him, you know, and he really believes that. And I do believe that we're probably going to see the best Tyson Fury we've ever seen. And if that Tyson Fury comes into the ring, I think he'll be unbeatable. You know, his size, his speed, his reach, he looks phenomenal.
A best Tyson Fury is quite scary when you think of the performances against Wilder and Klitschko. Our main event fighters are now here. They are ready. Oleksandr Usyk is in the building, as is Tyson Fury. So let's throw it. Oh, no, not yet. Sorry, Thomas, I keep doing this to you, Thomas. You keep walking to the center of the ring. I think it's going to happen. It's not happening yet. In terms of Usyk then, last one. In terms of Usyk as a fighter, I mean, Vladimir Klitschko was fantastic. Deontay Wilder was fantastic. Do you think this is his toughest test, Tyson?
Without a doubt. Like, we've seen Usyk beat Joshua twice, so with them two wins is obviously, you know, his toughest test. But I believe Tyson he's gonna come in his best ever prepared shape, and I believe he's gonna beat him.
All right, Thomas, no more teasing. They are in the building. You can do your thing. Introduce the main event fighters.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the media workouts for Ring of Fire. A great night of World Championship Boxing this Saturday, live from Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It is all being brought to you by Frank Warren on behalf of Queensberry Promotions and Bob Aram for Top Rank Incorporated, in conjunction with Riyadh Season, National Events Center, the General Entertainment Authority, GIA, Gold Star Promotions, K2 Promotions, and Sella. This great event will be shown worldwide on DAZN pay-per-view, in the United States on ESPN Plus pay-per-view, and in the UK on Sky Sports Box Office, TNT Sports Box Office, and DAZN. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to extend a big thank you to the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and His Excellency, Chairman of the General Entertainment Authority, GIA, Turkey, Al-Sheikh. Ladies and gentlemen, our main event this Saturday night, scheduled for 12 rounds. It will be for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Let's first welcome to the ring from Ukraine, undefeated with 21 wins, 14 of his 21 wins coming by way of knockout. Let's welcome the 2012 Olympic gold medalist, the former undisputed cruiserweight world champion, and this Saturday night, the reigning and defending unified heavyweight champion of the world, Oleksandr Usyk.
Here he is, the current unified heavyweight champion of the world, the former undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world, Olympic gold medalist, world championship gold medalist, European championship gold medalist, and he's brought the whole crew with him as well. Ain't playing games.
Nah, they mean business. When you're reeling off the titles there, it's like going into a restaurant and getting your bill at the end and it just ravels to the floor.
That was my Michael Buffer moment.
Do you know what I think his biggest strength is? And I said it yesterday, is temperament. He's so level, isn't he? Whatever the occasion, and the same in a fight situation. He's so level all the time. Never gets rushed, never gets panicked. I wonder if he'll juggle.
I don't know what to expect from his workout. I see gloves behind, so he might give us a little treat here.
Hey, get a little sweat on, no doubt. You won't find out nothing, but I must say, he looks big. Being close to him a couple of days ago, he really looked like he's filled out, looking bigger with every heavyweight fight he has.
But when he throws punches now, you watch what he does after. I know I say all the time, what you do after you throw a punch is almost as important as the punch itself. You watch what he does after he throws a punch. There'll be a little sway to the left, a little sway to the right, and that always means when you're looking to counter him, he's never where you want him to be. He's never in front of you, so you can't follow the punch back. You've got to adjust the angle, and that's what makes him so hard to hit clean.
He's always been, or at least his last 3 fights, 221 pounds. So that was against Daniel Dubois, and those 2 fights against AJ. His first fight, or his fight, against Derek Chisora, I think he was 217. Is there a danger, because he does look a lot physically bigger to me, is there a danger he's going to try and play the size game like Wilder did, because he's trying to almost force through on the back foot with his size?
There is potential of that. I think he's far too professional to make any mistakes like that. I think they'll be managing the weight really, really well. They'll be looking at the hand speed, the foot movement, how he's feeling at certain weights. They would have left no stone unturned.
I think it's important that he puts on a bit of weight, because he slides in out of distance rather than bounce. So he needs to be fluent, but he also needs our size as well. So he can't be bullied. When Tyson does lean on him, he has got some resistance with the weight.
Look who's joined us, Alex Prassett, watching his man Oleksandr Usyk just go through the motions here, putting the gloves on. Alex, When I spoke to Oleksandr in the week, he said, I've been wanting this fight, this moment, for 22 years. This is what he's been dreaming of, a fight of this magnitude. How long have you wanted this moment for him?
We started our journey together back in 2013. It's more than 10 years already. We've gone through hell and paradise, through water and sky, through everything. When I first met him, when we were making a deal, I gave him a promise that he will become the world champion in 3 years. God helped to accomplish my promise 3 weeks before the expiration. And since that time, we are together.
Alex, we had a talk off air yesterday, and you were telling us about the preparations that Usyk's having, the damage that he's been putting on to his sparring partners. They've been struggling, they've been dropping the size that he's been putting on. Can you tell us about the preparations for this fight?
Listen, it's Tyson Fury's fault. I'm not like blaming him, but it's naturally his fault. Because he rescheduled the fight 3 times, and he gave a chance for Oleksandr Usyk to get as big as that, to get as strong as that, and as well trained as that. Yeah, now he's a different man. I mean different, he's not a cruiserweight, he's not an amateur anymore. This guy is a tough, look at what he's doing. That's why when I speak about the upcoming fight, I mean the finish inside the distance. He's too strong now.
By the time, do you mean he's had time to put on the weight and then be able to keep the mobility, like train with that weight with him to keep the suppleness that he has?
Ukrainian food, that's his best supplement.
Can you send me some, please?
We all need that, we all need it. No, listen, his camp is the bunch of scientists. Every man that you see around him is a scientist in his field. It includes everything. It includes diet. It includes how he sleeps. It includes how he eats, how he trains, what he does, what he doesn't do. So every single moment of his training camp is under control. And his body, his mind, everything is under control. That's because the big results needs big efforts. And these guys, they have put the biggest efforts into it.
And that's why he's always calm. That's why he's always calm. He's always level-headed, never panicking.
You know why? The fighter deserves his victory, not in the ring. He deserves his victory in a training camp. And this man has gone 3 already in a row. So he deserved it 3 times. When he gonna be waiting for the fight, for the walk-in, he will be nothing to hesitate about. He's done it 3 times. He went through almost 500 rounds of sparrings. Can you imagine? 500 rounds of sparrings for just 1 fight. That's why it's undisputed, and that's why this man deserves to be undisputed.
Alex, we spoke about Usyk's weight, the size of Usyk. A lot has been spoken about Tyson Fury, the amount of weight he's lost. What do you think? What does that show?
Yeah, Oleksandr Usyk did not gain weight because there was no purpose for that. He stays in his normal weight, he looks better. It doesn't mean that the amount of his muscle is the same, it's bigger, but his weight is more or less the same. But we're gonna see it Friday night. Regarding Tyson, if there is no science behind it, some sophisticated science, then it's probably not the best work he's done. I mean, losing weight that fast and that much. Now we call Usyk doesn't call him greedy belly anymore. Now he calls him skinny belly.
There's been so many conversations about pound-for-pound fighters, all-time great fighters. If your fighter becomes a double undisputed on Saturday, there has to be a discussion as to where he ranks as one of the all-time greats, yes?
When you are driving a dirty car inside, you don't notice it's dirty, only people around see. The same is with a good-looking car. I mean, when you are inside the process, it's really complicated to analyze. Definitely, if this man, not if, when this man becomes double undisputed, he's on the same level with the best that we consider best of the best. But when you are inside the action, you cannot think of it. You think of something very important that's going to happen Saturday night.
You've become very Shakespearean, Mr. Krasiuk, over the years. Very Shakespearean. Have you ever wrote a book before?
Not yet. I just started one.
I think Oleksandr Usyk has finished his little session for us.
I think.
There's Tyson.
Skinny belly.
Skinny belly.
But he looks good. I was just about to say that. He does look good, doesn't he?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He can be, how you say this? He can be a hero for the underwear commercial. That's what Usyk said. Just quoting him.
Did you look at this as Usyk's toughest test? Again, you look at what he did as a cruiserweight, as an amateur, as a heavyweight. Is this the acid test?
Definitely yes. Yeah. We respect Tyson Fury. First, as a man, as a personality, this is 100%. It's not under discussion. But we also respect him as an athlete. The guy who achieved that much, who went ups and downs. But for me, his biggest achievement is the comeback. After his roller coaster, mental roller coaster, after his fight with Klitschko.
Yeah.
He had some tough times. For me, that was the biggest thing he could ever do.
All right, Ali Drew is in the ring, as is obviously Oleksandr Usyk, and I believe she's going to get a word with the unified heavyweight champion of the world.
Right, you ready now? Just having a drink. It's very hot in here. Just having a sip of water. I asked you this yesterday, but I'm going to ask you again. How do you feel?
Я вас хочу спросить сегодня. Как вы себя чувствуете?
I feel good. Again, please.
Now, you've been in this position before. You've been in the fight week for an undisputed fight. Does it feel familiar, or is this new feelings this week? Does it feel a little bit different?
В этот раз ощущаю такие же ощущения или другие?
Кожного разу нові емоції, і це будуть нові емоції, тому що це дуже великий поєдинок для мене, для моєї країни, для багатьох людей, які тут зібралися. Все нове, кожен день новий і кожне діло нове.
Each event that they take place will always have a new experience. Each new day, each new experience will, for the country, for the team, is always a wonderful, great new experience.
Now, before you get out the ring, just a final word to Tyson Fury, who is waiting at the end of the purple carpet.
Последние слова, Tyson.
I don't have last questions. I say for Saturday. Yeah.
Are you going to stay and watch him when he gets in the ring?
Вы будете стоять, смотреть, когда он выйдет на ринг?
Of course.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's now welcome to the ring from England, undefeated with 34 wins, one draw, 24 of his 34 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the lineal world champion and the reigning and defending WBC heavyweight champion of the world, known as the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury!
Obvious statement, 101 here. Tyson Fury's in shape. He's in shape. He weighed 277 pounds against Francis Ngannou, which is clearly far too much, and you could see it visibly when he took his top off at the weigh-in. I would hazard a guess to say he's around 20 pounds lighter than that and will be on fight night.
Yeah, I think so. And see, he's not foolish. For all the joking around he does and all the dismissive things that he says, he knows this is, if he doesn't get it right here tonight, Saturday night I should say, then all the good work he's done, he can be questions being asked of him. He says he's the greatest of all time. That's his own admission for that, of course. But to be mentioned with great names, these fights, these big fights like that, they define your place in history. So he knows if this is the most important fight of his career. He'll be in the best shape possible.
Do you know what I love about this? The discussion about weight is coming back to tactics, how he then approaches the fight. What's the reason for the weight loss? I was convinced he'd try to be the physically stronger, which he obviously is in that fight, pose that side into the contest. So he's obviously thinking speed for me. I still don't see him going on the back foot though. It surprised me he doesn't work from the centre of the ring. But there's options for this man. Does he retreat? Does he go on the front foot? I love this high level chess. There's always, he was mentioning the movement of Usyk after Barry, and that's when they talk about it as the physical game of chess. It's thinking 2-3 moves in front. So that's always thinking about the defence before you mount another attack. This is why I love this sport. It's the tactical warfare that we're going to experience unfold on Saturday night. I cannot wait.
But he was saying yesterday that he hasn't lost any weight, wasn't he? He was saying that I'm going to come around 19 stone. He just, you know, my body shape has changed, and if that's the case,
I don't believe him.
I don't, but I think he needs to be. He needs to both. He needs to be mobile when he needs to be mobile. He also needs that natural strength as well and size. So if Usyk gets close, to hold him and be able to keep hold of him and put his weight on him. When you're the bigger guy, you don't have to push and pull. You just have to lean. And he does that, and he's done that throughout his career. He's very good at it.
Just watching him here put the hand wraps on, he's just so supremely confident, isn't he? It's almost, look, there will be pressure, but he almost takes it in his strides like another day in the park. He almost seems to be someone that just loves the limelight and the moment.
And he's a fighting man. You know,
that he is.
He just loves to do this. This is his favourite thing to do. He was born to fight. He's done it since he's come out of the womb, died 3 times in the incubator. You know, it's a fighting story. He comes from a fighting family. He seems unfazed, but you know, the way that he's just captured the imagination of not just the sports fan, the general public. People know who Tyson Fury is. Your next door neighbour knows who Tyson Fury is. He ticks all the boxes.
He's a show pony. That's what he is. You know, he's better, and he thrives better, and he performs better when all the attention is on him.
And all the attention of the world is on him right now. Tyson Fury about to do. Imagine he does that and just walks out the ring. Teases us, puts them all on, and then just does nothing. But yeah, look, he's been in the ring for a couple of minutes, the longest really. I think he'll probably have the longest workout of anyone. And he's just soaking this all up. He really is.
And do you know what I also like? That it's a family affair. He's got the whole family here. The kids on the apron there with the belt, the WBC belt. You know, he's a family man, but he just transitions into a monster, a fighter, just like that. You know, you can see him switch very, very quickly. You can see his dad switch very quickly. It's just in his blood to do this.
Some people thrive in chaos. Some people are more comfortable, are more relaxed, and more focused in chaos. And I think he's that. So sometimes he has to create it. We've seen in the past how he creates it. No, I think he just acts funny. He does things, sings. And I hope we get a song today, actually. But he does all these sort of things to bring extra attention. So it's sort of manic and chaotic. And I think he feels at home then.
Obviously, look, we've been talking about this is the first undisputed heavyweight title fight since Evander Holyfield and Lennox Lewis 25 years ago. I'm trying to rack my brains as what has been the biggest heavyweight fight since this? Like in recent memory, is it Wilder Fury 2? Has that been the biggest heavyweight fight?
I mean, that's massive. Also, when Tyson Fury ripped the crown away from the man that reigned for over a decade, Klitschko, in Germany. You know, that's a massive win. When you was asking me who's got the bigger win, perhaps that probably is. I know it probably wasn't prime Klitschko, but still, to go to Germany and beat a man that's reigned for that long is so impressive. I mean, some of the Lewis fights were huge. I used to love watching them. You know, what a great fighter he was. I'd love to have put Tyson Fury in this era now. I'm personally against them all. But this man here has been in some massive fights, and he's still doing so. And I think as long as he keeps fighting, he's going to be in huge fights.
That second Wilder fight, where he boxed brilliant in the first fight, and obviously in the end then, it was a draw. We felt hard done by getting off the floor the way he did, and then coming back and telling us all he was going to push the big puncher back and knock him out. No one believed him, but when he did it, it was one of the best performances I've been at ringside.
Look who's here, my best friend Spencer's here again. He said Spencer's coming up. I went, not again, not again. He's not going to do it to me. Spence, we're just looking at Fury now. Even Alex Cressett was looking at him as well and said, he's in great shape.
He's unbelievable shape, but let's have it right. Usyk's in unbelievable shape as well. Usyk looked very big to me, and he came in and went on an orthodox stance as well there. I don't know what he's trying to do with that.
Yeah.
But,
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, well, he did.
Yeah.
You come on, he tried to do the orthodox job. Sorry, so he came on with the orthodox stance, and he's having a bit of fun. He's a big-looking man. Look, he's over there looking now, look.
Spencer.
He is. Fraser Clark, the traitors with him, look.
Look at that, look at that.
Spence, before we go back to the fight, I just want to talk about Riyadh, the Riyadh season, what Saudi Arabia are doing for boxing. When you had these early conversations way back, could you ever imagine it would become as big as this?
Not really, no, to be honest. I knew it'd be big, but I didn't think it'd be this. I knew it'd be big, but you know, after the first cut, you wonder then, don't you? You think people lost the appetite, have they got? It just seemed, I mean, the phone calls we're having and the people who are flying in on private jets and they want ringside tickets, they want the best seat in the house, which is simply not there anymore. It's a sellout. It's gone. The fight's sold out. So there you have it. You know, we've done a great job. I think what really happened was everybody knew it was on when the big kickoff at the beginning of the week and the juices started flying for everybody. You know?
Sorry, Baz, sorry. Fury just went southpaw there. They're both playing games with each other. They're both playing games, Shan.
Look,
I can do what you can do. Look at Usyk.
Intently, isn't he?
Yeah.
So, yeah, of course, one game to another game. It's a war, isn't it?
It is.
It's World War III.
It certainly is. Sorry, Baz, go on.
Go on, Baz.
Can it get any bigger than this? I know this is the biggest fight, but over here, can they do any more than they've done? I can't believe they keep surpassing themselves, but surely this has to be the limit.
I think it's the pinnacle, Barry.
It has to be.
I don't think we can equal it, but you know yourself, the first one's always the best.
Yeah.
And the second one follows. It never is the same as the first one. But anything's possible. I think if everything was to go how we want it to go, and Anthony Joshua came into the spotlight, I think possibly that's a bigger fight.
But what we've seen with Tyson Fury in the Wilder fight, you thought it couldn't get bigger than that, and then the second fight was bigger again. So he has form in that.
This is like a fairy tale, isn't it, for us?
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Fans. I see Mr. Barker the other day. He said it's like a dream come true.
It is. I mean, it's incredible what's going on in this sport.
There he is.
Keen eyes.
I'm fascinated to how much he's staring at Fury. He's been studying Fury for a year, and it's like, no, I need a bit more. I need a bit more.
I think there was a little bit of terror there.
Spencer, talk to us about the size of Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
We've mentioned the weight of Usyk, but Tyson seems to have lost a fair bit of weight. Could we look into that in any way?
I think opposites have happened there. I think he's bulked up. He looks a big man there. Tyson has dropped down, but he'll still be 18'6", 18'8" on the night. That's a huge man for 6'9". As you can see, look at the shape he's in. He's happy. He's so happy. He wants it. He wants to have a tear-up.
Is that to give him the flexibility to be adaptable to, if he has to go back to the old Fury of being evasive, or the recent Fury of being more aggressive?
Yeah, I think, look, there's the old adage, isn't there? You can't teach old dogs new tricks. But, we haven't seen Tyson revert back to his boxing style yet. And maybe we will on the night. Maybe we'll see that Wilder 2 back in him, where he might have a complete tear-up and a proper rout, or Wilder 1 where he boxes his head off. I don't know myself.
What's your gut, Spence? Does this go the distance, or is there a stoppage in this fight? Your gut.
I was thinking stoppage. The more and more I look at it, and the more I look at the Usyk and everything, I think it'll be a convincing points win for Tyson. Right. I think it'll be a convincing points win for Tyson. I've had a look at the bookies, and the best bet on the card is a split decision on the fight. 12 to 1. So there you go.
12 to 1.
12 to 1.
Bit of money to be made there.
Yeah.
This fight was supposed to happen in February, Spence. He got a cut. It looks like the cut's held up well.
The cat is in great shape. We've had 2 or 3 people look at it.
Yeah.
And because luckily enough, that the weather got a little bit better in England, didn't it? And it got a bit warmer. And the cut seems to have healed really well.
Yeah.
How are you wearing that jacket, by the way? You must be on fire.
No, I'm not actually. It's a very lightweight one. And when you're fat, it doesn't really matter.
And you're like a local man now, aren't you? You spent some
I've been
serious
here.
time here.
I don't know how long I spend most of my time here now. So, yeah. I mean, it doesn't bother me that much, the heat at the moment. No.
But Spence, did you ever think you'd be involved in something of this magnitude? I mean, forget about all this show in particular.
In the wildest dreams, you couldn't,
I can see you smiling there.
Yeah, in your wildest dreams, you couldn't imagine it. I mean, you know, from zero to hero type job, isn't it? That's what it is.
I see in the boxing news as well, you was ranked, what number was it? Most influential man in boxing.
I thought somebody was winding me up when they told me that.
That's incredible, though.
Yeah, but it's all down to Tyson. Got his trust in me. Turkey Al-Sheikh, his team have got their trust in me. We've done the 2 biggest fights in the world, and I think we're going to do a lot more. The indication is this is just a start, and there's massive things to come.
So you've got a future Hall of Famer in your fighter.
Yeah.
Are we going to see you as a future Hall of Famer?
I don't think so. I think I'll be brown bread by then, but anyway.
You know, I'm just, as you guys are talking, I'm just watching Tyson Fury, and he looks so elusive.
Look at him.
On the back foot, on the front foot. I mean, he looks fantastic. He really does.
I tell you what he's got to negate, and that's that big arm of his. How do you get inside? It's very, very hard to get inside of Tyson Fury. Not easy at all.
Not easy.
And what you see here is he's having a little play, having a mess about. But how do you get inside with this man? And I think everybody forgetting, this man can dogfight. He's got the skills, but he can dogfight. He's one of the best.
He can dogfight.
He's got one of the biggest hearts in boxing, and I think that he might have to pull it out on the night, but when he does, you'll see a man who can properly have a fight.
We all know he can do that. Spence, got to let you go. Thank you very much. Thank you for not putting it on me today. No, get away from it. Get away, Spence, get away. No.
Lovely.
Cheers.
I'll send you some merch as well.
Me, please, as well. Me, please, as well. Thank you, Spence. Tyson Fury, look, throwing that triple jab. Honestly, he does look really good. He looks really sharp.
Yeah.
And although he is slim, he still is 18.5, 19 stone. He's still such a big man.
Yeah, you said sharpness, you agreed, and so do I. Very, very quick hands for a big man. He throws it with such, effortless speed. It really is. And when you see him here and you see him putting that fencing lead arm out, it does all of a sudden look very difficult for Usyk to win this fight.
See, I don't see him walking forward flat-footed. I don't see him dancing around either. But I do see him being more on the balls of his feet than we've seen him in recent times. I think
from the centre of the ring?
Yeah. Well, I think he's going to allow Usyk to come at him a little bit. But I think he's going to be feinting, stepping back, and trying to make Usyk fall short and then counter it. But I think that jab, whipping jab, flicking jab, is going to be a constant weapon, trying to force Usyk to punch from too far out.
Southpaw again, Ade.
Southpaw again. He knows, look, he's literally showing Usyk, I can do everything. Back foot, front foot, southpaw, orthodox, whatever you want, I got it.
And I think that will be his plan, to show Usyk that on fight night. To show how versatile he is and how unorthodox he is.
Usyk's seen enough, he's out of here. Usyk is walking away, and all the cameras are chasing him as well.
What's going to be so hard for Oleksandr Usyk is he reads your rhythm, but Fury changes from round to round. So how are you able to read his rhythm when he can constantly switch? He changes how he does the pattern of the fight. That's going to be another mental battle there for Oleksandr Usyk that he probably hasn't encountered either ever or for a very long time.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of Tyson Fury's workout. Got a nice little sweat in there as well.
Yeah, I think he worked the longest, didn't he, out of everyone tonight. He's a workhorse, that's for sure. He trains his behind off, he really does. He always goes into the fight super fit. And he'll have to be super fit, mentally and physically, to overcome Usyk Saturday night.
That's it, someone hold my mic. Rocky Balboa's on, it's time to do some press-ups.
Well, we've seen you shadow box so far, so it was going to be right to finish off the workout.
Shadow box.
All right.
No, you look good.
What Rocky's is from?
4.
Yes. Love
4
that. Love
in
that.
the snow. This is when he's in the cave, basically, away from home. He's in the snow, he's doing everything. All right, very quickly, Rocky 1 or Rocky 4?
4.
4? 4. There you go. There you go. All right, Ali Drew is ready to interview Mr. Tyson Fury. Let's hear what the lineal heavyweight champion has to say.
Tyson, it looks like you're enjoying the occasion. How are you feeling?
I'm on top of the world, baby! Who wouldn't be enjoying it? I'm in the great kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Main event, undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. 2020 year, what a year, come on.
Now, the Fury Fight Week is always memorable. Have you got any surprises lined up for us over the next few days?
Keep tuned, keep your eyes peeled. We've got some big stuff coming over the next few days.
What about the ring walk? Can you let us into any secrets of that?
I always have a crazy little ring walk, and you wouldn't expect anything different for the biggest fight in my life, would you?
So it's something we've never seen before for this one.
I think so, yeah. I don't think it's ever been done before, so it's definitely going to be a surprise.
What is it like having all these people out to support you for this tonight? You've got your whole team with you as well. What an entrance you made.
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. You know, all these great people have come out here tonight from wherever they were from to support the boxing event here in Saudi Arabia. So we're looking forward to putting on a good show. Me and Oleksandr are going to put on a fantastic show for the world to watch. Tune in Saturday night.
Well, before Saturday, we've got the press conference tomorrow. Are you going to be on the wind-up?
So I'm always on the wind-up, and I think I was born winding people up.
Well, when Usyk was in the ring before, he said he was going to stick around and watch your workout.
Yeah.
Any final words for him? He is watching somewhere.
Usyk! Usyk! Usyk!
Brilliant. Thanks for your time, Tyson.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's hear it for the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury!
As Tyson Fury leaves the ring, his trainer has joined us upstairs here, Sugar Hill Stewart, you were running. They made you work for that, Sugar. You're in shape, though. That was good. Tyson there went southpaw a few times, fighting on the back foot. You guys are trying to show us some tricks here that you can do everything.
Yeah, he walked me down, so I couldn't get him off me on the rope. So I think his weight is very good right now to keep keep a small guy like myself contained.
What's his weight?
I don't know.
You do know.
Don't care about the weight.
No?
He says it every morning, but I don't listen.
Okay.
I'm not concerned about the weight. I'm only concerned with the way he performs at what he is.
Yeah.
And I'm happy with that.
Right, tactically, you just mentioned there, walking you down, is the plan. I know you're going to give too much away, but is the loose plan to get that size into the fight? Walk Usyk down.
The plan is to use everything that Tyson Fury has the ability to. And that's a part of it as well. It's walking him down. It's also boxing. It's doing a little bit of everything, you know? Tyson can do everything. Yeah. So I think it'll be a good mental challenge for Tyson. This is what he's up for.
Yeah. Is that the thing? Is that Tyson's main strength is adaptability in fight mode? So when the round's going on, you can change the tact.
Yes, Tyson is very adaptable in any situation, as we've all seen him before. Also is Oleksandr Usyk.
Yeah.
So that's why this is a great match, and Tyson is very, very up for this fight.
Is it about being proactive in this fight and not reactive? Let Usyk be the one that has to try and get past the jab, get past that lead hand. Let him be the boss. Show Usyk from the early stages, I'm grabbing hold of this fight, I'm in charge.
Well, listen, in boxing, everybody knows a good boxer is ring generalship. So you got to have that ring generalship, and that's what Tyson has been practicing, the ring generalship, to make Usyk do what he needs him to do, to catch him, make a mistake, and land that big punch for a knockout.
I asked Spencer Brown, sorry Barry, if he felt this fight would go stoppage or go points. How do you see it playing out?
I have to see it for a stoppage. I've trained Tyson for a lot of things, and I expect everything from Usyk. So he's well prepared, and I expect a knockout, period.
Yeah. We've all been saying how important the jab is for both, but in particular Tyson Fury to dictate that range. Is that something you've been working on more than most?
Definitely. It's important. The jab is one of the basic fundamentals of boxing that people don't use. Even when they get an opponent hurt, they won't go back to the jab, which got them there. They'll just start throwing big haymakers and big left hooks and right hands, and they've forgotten about what actually set up the power shot was the jab.
Sugar, how good is Oleksandr Usyk? I mean, the accolades speak for themselves, but just from you, from someone with your boxing knowledge, having watched so many different boxers, you come from boxing stock. When you look at Oleksandr Usyk, just how special is he?
Listen, we both trained hard. I did a lot of thinking for this fight, and Tyson's been paying attention, and he's very focused. As Tyson stated, I mean, Oleksandr Usyk has all the credentials. There's been smaller guys moving up from cruiserweight to take over the heavyweight division, and that's what Oleksandr Usyk has done so far. Now it's time to meet Tyson Fury.
Obviously, look, the focus is on fighter versus fighter. Do you ever think of what you're doing as a trainer? As a trainer, you're going to be potentially, and it's right there at the moment, a trainer of an undisputed heavyweight champion. Do you ever think about that?
I'm only thinking about it because you and some other guys, they bring it up.
And
then it comes to me because I've never really thought about it that much. And then when I do think about it, it's a little bit sentimental because Emmanuel Stewart, my uncle, had the last heavyweight undisputed champion, which was Lennox Lewis.
Special, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Special.
I'm here for a reason.
You certainly are, and so is Tyson. That's what he continually tells us as well, that he's here for a reason as well. Final one, we're here again. We've been here, me and yourselves have been here in the Kingdom, Riyadh. We've seen big events in America. We've seen big events in the UK. We're seeing massive events here now.
Listen, this is something that I remember before Emmanuel passed away. He was talking about, probably about 20 years ago, when they were talking about doing big fights in the Middle East. And now we're here, you know, probably 12 years after he passed away. And for me to be here on this stage, in this magnificent country with these great shows that they're putting on, they're making the fights here.
They are certainly making the fights.
Yeah, the Turkey, he's putting on these fights, he's getting these fighters together. You don't have to worry about the promoters and all these disputes. Everything is set up for him here, and I think everybody's loving it. Boxing is loving it, the fighters, and then the fans are getting what they want and what they deserve.
Yeah, the fans get what they want on Saturday as well. Remember the main event, this man trains him, Tyson Fury versus Oleksandr Usyk. Let's remind you of the fight card, because it is a very, very big fight card come Saturday. All right, we'll kick things off. Lowe versus Hasibullah Ahmadi. Remember, that is a fight in the international featherweight division. We move to the light heavyweight division, the vacant WBA intercontinental light heavyweight title between Daniel Lapin and Portugal's Octavio Pudivitr. We then go to the cruiserweight division. David Nyika, unbeaten, versus Michael Seitz from Germany, unbeaten. As they say, someone's O has got to go. We stay in the cruiserweight division, not a light heavyweight contest. Sergey Kovalev, the former light heavyweight king, takes on Sweden's Robin Silwin Safar. The vacant WBA super lightweight title is up for grabs. Mark Chamberlain versus Nigeria's Joshua Wahab. And then a prospect that everyone thinks is going to go all the way. Moses Itauma takes on Germany's Ilia Mezencev. They fight for the vacant WBO Intercontinental Heavyweight title. Staying in the heavyweight division, this is a big one. Unbeaten versus unbeaten. Cuban's Frank Sanchez takes on Turkey or German. Now, I get Cavial as the final eliminator for the WBC World Heavyweight title. And then 3 titles on the line. Joe Cordina versus Anthony Kakachi for the IBF and IBO Super Featherweight title. We then move into the cruiserweight division, the vacant IBF World Cruiserweight title up for grabs. 2 former belt holders of that belt. Opetaia takes on Mairis Briedis. And then Tyson Fury versus Oleksandr Usyk for everything. Not just the belts, the bragging rights. Who is the best heavyweight of this generation? Absolutely everything, ladies and gentlemen. All right, day 2 is done. It's in the books. The media public workouts are over. Now, have you changed your mind again?
No,
or
I must say I'm now a lightweight.
You're more reaffirmed.
The amount of weight I've lost this evening.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't. I still believe Tyson Fury wins this on points. I think we're going to see a bit of everything. We're going to see lots of drama. We're going to see some high-level chess. We're going to see a bit of everything. But I just believe Tyson Fury will get the job done.
Yeah, well, I've been steadfast, haven't I, with Tyson Fury. I think it's going to be a difficult fight for him. But I do think that adaptability we always talk about, he has it in spades. And I think that will be the difference here.
All right, Ali, you were there. You're up close and personal with the both main event fighters. Go on, how are they feeling? The weight, how's it really looking? It's difficult to see from here. Does Tyson Fury look as good as we think he does?
Yeah, he did. I was surprised, actually. He looked relaxed. He looked confident. He was dancing in there, singing. He looks in great shape, like the best shape. He was looking quick. He was having a laugh in there. So he just looks like there's no pressure on him, but he looks, I'd say, the fittest that I've seen him.
And Oleksandr Usyk, I mean, we've been saying here he looks a bit bigger. As I've continually repeated, he normally weighs in around 220 pounds. Does he look bigger than that? Do you think he's going to come in a bit bigger?
I think he will. I've not actually seen him up close, so I can't compare it in real life terms. But to me, he looks like he'll come in heavier, I think. That's probably the tactic, I would say, from him. But yeah, again, he looks confident. He comes across almost indifferent sometimes, but that's obviously not the case. But he's very, very chilled, and yeah, he looks up for it as well.
All right, Fury, don't do anything. Stick on the fence. Stay with me. Stick on the fence. It's the best place to be, Ali. Trust me. You want to keep a long term in this business. Stay on the fence like I do. All right, day 2 is now in the books. Tomorrow we have the press conference. Then we got the weigh-in, and then we have fight night. The QR code is on the screen. Scan it. Be a part of something very, very special. We are going to find out who is the man in the heavyweight division for the first time in 25 years. Why would you, in my Teddy Atlas voice, not want to be a part of this? Of course you want to be a part of this. We'll see you tomorrow.
A tale as old as time. A legendary champion in search of another champion has found his match. Facing each other under the watchful eye of history.
Let's get ready to rumble! And
it is time to fight.
Boxing on DAZN, sponsored by William Hill.
ready? Steady!
He took my childhood. Do you find him? He's mine.
Furiosa, a Mad Max saga.
There is no hope!
In cinemas May 24.
What's he got saying? Turn around. Or join them.
One time, stray dog.
You've got the instinct. Now, get the training.
Boxing on DAZN, sponsored by William Hill.